right. If you're on Zoom, I mean, if you're coming on and you're in chat, Zoom's up. Just trying to get everything as much done ahead of time as I can here. Okay, Chris, you hear me? Sound check, sound check, sound check. All right. All right. Awesome. Good to hear.
Hi, welcome back to Gamescape 3D. Today we're going to do a speed paint of one of our little peasant houses to show how easy these things are to paint. Here's the peasant house I have to paint today. It has been primered black. Okay, so we're all ready to go. So I got about 3 minutes into it so far. We got the base, we got the roof, and then we have a few smaller components. I have flat boards here for the loft.
Hey, Chris, number two.
I got
What's going on, man?
a little
Waiting for all guests to come.
bitty window parts.
Told them
there.
650. Just want to make sure all
And
technical
I
stuff
have
is
a
up
hood for
and
the
going.
flue up on the roof, and this could be resin printed or FDM printed. And then lastly,
Shout outs.
A little ragtag door to put on the front with a filament hinge.
Hope everyone is off and going to enjoy
In terms
tomorrow.
of prepping the models, sometimes these little holes where the filament's supposed to run through can get clogged up on your resin doors. Sometimes the resin will just settle in there when it's washing out and kind of harden. Sometimes with these doors, it might just be a little off. You know, you might need to clean it out. If you do, you can use a drill bit. 5/64 is the size you need to clean out those holes. So if I have a door there, I might just...
Yeah. Hey, Dragger here. Good to see you. I understand that, man. Yeah, I just want to have a healing and relaxing as much as possible time tomorrow, whatever that may be in my existence right now.
So we got those holes cleaned out.
We do have a game Saturday morning, so
filament.
Tonight, Saturday morning, and then normal Sunday evening. But I think I'm going to push the Sunday evening one back to 7:30 or 8. I got to figure it out.
The first thing I'm going to be doing is
worry about that in a little bit here.
Onto the timber frames. And I'm going to use a pretty good sized brush. I don't care about getting brown everywhere for this first part. In fact, it's preferred. So there's my brown again. Kind of on the lighter side of a mid-tone.
I know I forgot something. Everything set the
I don't want to
giveaway
use
up
so
already,
much
right?
brown
already.
that I'm filling in the details, of course. And if some of the black primer comes through, that's all the better. You definitely don't want to waste your time creating an even coat around this. It'll actually take away from it in the end, and it's kind of just a waste of time. You can go do something else. Do make sure you kind of hit the tops and the bottoms of your timbers. Okay. Don't just
How you doing,
paint
Will?
the face of these things, because you're not going to be coming back.
I can't hear you.
To hit these sides.
Oh, wait, you're low. You're just low.
This is kind of.
That's better. Better.
Okay.
Awesome, man.
Awesome.
How you doing?
I'm hanging in there, man. Touch up.
Yeah. You still having a up, down, all around?
Well, you know, it's just I had the catheter out 2 days ago, so
See, I'm just
Jesus,
kinda
dude.
going at it.
That's a
I
great
feel-
time to come into a meeting. Great
Yeah,
time to
yeah,
come into a
perfect,
meeting.
man.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
the first words I hear are catheter. Great.
Yes, exactly. Hey, thanks, Card Man. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting there. It's just it's a challenge right now.
Or to
Yeah, I bet,
replace
dude.
color
You know,
plaster
so
parts with any
I already got.
We're all-
particular intention.
We're all wishing for your health, man. We're all thinking of
Yeah.
it.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Black
We got the
tinted lines
giveaway
come
going
through,
already, everyone in chat.
you know,
So
kinda dry
hey,
brush
Armin.
I got to pull that
a little
up.
bit, as opposed to like a straight paint
What's up
job.
here? Put
What
this.
is Jay working on here, man? Some more
It's
terrain.
Jeremy. It's Jeremy. Yeah. It's,
Oh, okay.
Jeremy from Gamescape 3D. Yeah, my sponsor. He's it was a Gary Con last year. It'll be a Gary Con this year. He's just doing his hut speed paint. Just to show
Cool.
stuff. Yeah, I'm getting more ads
So you want to avoid
like this over ads with musical backgrounds in them that
the
they own
same
the rights
way.
to, but I don't. And then I get them
The key is
flagged
really
on
different
YouTube all the
mouse
time. It's
pick
annoying.
in different
Yeah,
areas.
You know, so I'm
You
just
know,
like,
kinda
I'll
create
take
a
ads
little
without
bit of
music
your
any day.
shimmer.
Except,
I-
you know, the
Is,
ones
is,
that I
is it?
What's
Sorry,
that?
is this just adding to the stuff you have to wheel in a giant forklift to GaryCon that I heard about?
Oh yeah. Well, he's bringing another forklift full of stuff. So, oh yeah, it's fun. That's part of the charm of it, especially when you get
No
someone
big
else to
deal
carry
there,
the
huh? It's
forklift.
about 2 minutes
Yeah,
or
so,
maybe
hey, Anna.
3.
Hello.
Waiting for
And
Mac
we're
to
done with our
connect.
first part here.
So
Yeah, he's there. He's muted.
Okay, we're gonna let
Yep.
that dry.
He's hiding behind the face
We're
of
gonna
an
go over
unlifted.
to the roof now. When we come back,
Yeah, I just unmuted myself on
there you go, man.
on Discord
I
instead
can
of
move
Zoom,
around right
Oh,
now.
Okay.
That's
and
all
I'm
right.
like, why can't Jake hear me?
It's just so much. It's just too much. You know,
Yep.
just, I always, like I said, there's always some little thing I forget or
Certain it matters.
forget to do or
we
forget to
found after the
sync or
walls
forget to
before,
update.
since I'm
It's
gonna
just,
be,
it's always something.
you know, putting
And,
dirt
That's
down
that's
as
being
well.
over 50, Jay.
But I'm just
Yeah.
gonna put down a quick
I
coat
have
of this
the
mustard
worst
brown
of it all
yellow.
now is
So
me
it'll be,
dropping something. I can't bend over to pick it up
nice
Oh,
right now.
check
Yeah.
one, check
That's
two.
what-
test-
That's when you're all like, well, I guess I'll live without that.
Yeah.
Don't care really
Isn't
about
that what
applying
kids?
an
Isn't it
even
what kids are
coat.
for? Hey, can you pick that up for me?
Well, he wasn't home yet. He had a half day
Uh,
today. I dropped an entire bottle of ibuprofen, and of course it went. It was like a shotgun went off. Yeah,
Another
so
thing is when you
that
put
was
And you
fun.
got cats, right?
Yeah,
So
that's
the-
what,
it's a-
you know, the way I mount
Yeah,
it,
exactly.
go straight into those corners.
Yeah.
Herding
Even
cats.
if your corners
You
aren't
You can get these
perfect,
grubby
they'll
hand
get filled up
things.
with wash
When
a little
when
bit. So you'll
when
have
when
a
I was
little
younger,
bit
one of my friends used to
grace
work
there.
in a supermarket chain, and they had these little toy
it's just a little
robot
bit
hand
too much,
things.
'cause like I said, it's
And
really
it was
bad.
basically like a long stick, and you
Oh.
squeeze one end, and the robot hand squeezed the other end. Well, he was having
This would be
problems
painted
getting
straight
things
yellow
from
all
under
the way
shelves and
around.
stuff, where people
And
would
again, we don't
drop
wanna
things and kick them under
put
the
down
shelves
an
and
even
stuff. So he
coat,
started using these
kinda just
robot
run
hands to pick things up. And
slop it on there, and as long as
someone's
black
kid in
comes
the
through, all
store
the
thought
better.
that he
If there's
was a
parts of the
disabled
black
guy
doesn't
with a
come
robotic
through,
arm.
you can use a big brush like
That
this,
works.
just
And he's
Cyborgs. Cyborgs.
yeah, this kid was going, look, mummy, there's a guy with a artificial arm. And the mum was going, shh, be quiet.
That's fun. All right, we have a majority here, right? Are we just missing Lee? Is that it?
Okay.
Yeah, he should be here.
Okay.
We just got the file uploaded, everything situated on DM's Guild, so all the changes,
the
last changes
looks great.
is done.
Cool.
No more bothering Lee,
Was
or
that
else
good?
he's gonna burn Greyhawk down. Okay, and he will steal the Isle of Dread back.
For Mistara. Yeah.
I mean, that might happen anyway, but you know,
So what's that, version 1.2 or something?
yeah.
It's always the way. I'm sure Jane saw it with Cool Marshals or whatever else. Is, you know, you drop it and then you look at it, you find the typos you spotted the first 200 times.
Yeah, that's usually the way it works.
Never proof for endurance stuff. So
Oh no. I mean, you can, but then that should never ever be the thing that happens.
I knew what I meant.
Yeah,
They-
exactly.
The only way you can catch that, in my experience, is if you read it aloud whenever you're doing it, and then you tend to it'll sound funny then, like you can pick it up if it's your own stuff.
That is a good trick. That does help some, for sure.
Or you come back to it after a couple of days, when your mind's fresh.
Really? So we know almost got 45 minutes. So.
Thereabouts.
Okay.
Then it turns into a pumpkin.
Pumpkin golem.
Speaking of weird Australian things, I'm on, I don't know if on Facebook, and there are these two atolls 2,300 miles northwest of Perth. It's part of Australia I never knew about. I was like, what the heck are they? Colo?
Focus Islands.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'd never seen them before.
Yeah, we got all these funny little islands off our coast, yeah.
Yeah.
With deadly creatures that want to kill you.
Yeah, that happens a lot. You know, you create this mini little ecosystem and they turn into like these weird little venomous buggers that will kill you in 30 seconds or something. Yeah, we get a lot of that. People think it's a joke, but it's just like sometimes stuff in Australia is deadly. And we don't think about it. It's probably like living in Nevada or Arizona, rattlesnakes.
Death Ray, thanks. Raskell, thanks. Thank you all. Moose, thanks. Hope everyone's doing well.
We have Lee. Good stuff.
Yeah. Alrighty.
I was saying to someone earlier on that with the corrections we gave Lee, if he had any hair left, it would have turned grey like mine.
I actually had to shave that off this morning. Otherwise it would have been terrible. Partially bald and gray at the same time.
Congrats, Dark L2LA. Great to hear. Congrats.
Grats what? What?
One of the persons in chat said they got engaged, so just congrats.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah.
No. I'm just yanking your chains. Like, not the Demon Lord? No. Okay, fine.
Congrats.
So just note, if I have to get up and run out of the room, Anna will just take over, okay? And it may happen. So, just depends. Okay. All right? So
Team effort.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I'm opening it so I can actually see what this is. I've been part of my stuff is in it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, that's awesome.
Anna.
Yeah, no, I had to buy it. I had to purchase it. So I did.
Oh, let me get updated numbers quick.
Yeah, please.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Kicking off another week here. Hope you're all doing well. You probably just heard I'm doing a lot better with the catheter out, but it's leading up to other challenges. So I will do my best tonight. But Anna will, if I have to run out of the room, Anna will pick up the slack, and so will everyone else on here. Let's introduce everyone. We're gonna have a really great, fun discussion tonight. Probably the most exciting publication to date to go on DM's Guild. So why don't we start in the upper left and introduce everyone, and we'll go from there. So, go ahead, Will.
Oh, I am the upper left, aren't I? Hey.
Yeah, you are, man.
Hi, everybody. I'm Will Dvorak, Giant Stomp on the interwebs. I have a Patreon called the Greyhawk Project. I'm the editor-in-chief of Wicked Studios, LLC, and I was the art director for this spectacular Gazetteer revised project.
And Will's a regular coming on the show, and used to be a streamer, and just does all sorts of great 5e things on his Patreon. So, yes, a man of many hats, which is awesome. So it's welcome back, man. Welcome back.
Thanks, man.
We'll skip Troy for last because Troy wants to make some announcements. So we'll skip Troy for last here, and we'll go next to Paul or Arthur the Clerk, if you know him in chat.
Thank you very much, Jay. Paul Urodechka, aka Arthan the Cleric. I have a blog domain of Greyhawk on WordPress where my ramblings are occasionally read by a few people. But mostly I seem to get press ganged into other people's projects to help edit and proof, although in this case I got to, I think my title was lead editor and writer, but it was a team effort and it was really great to work with everyone. So
it's so grateful. We want to press gang you into everything because you're doing so awesome work. So, yeah.
I'll hide now, yeah.
Well, welcome on. I know your time's limited because you are in Australia, so and you're actually working. So whenever you have to go, no problem.
It's my lunch hour, Jay. I'm just taking it early.
We'll give you as much. Much time as you need in that time period. So
all good.
Welcome on. Hey, Lee. Welcome back.
Hey, thanks for having me back.
Sure.
My name's Lee Scheidley. I'm the art director most of the time for GaryCon and for quite a few of Troy's projects now. I've helped out with the layout and design and basically polishing up the projects at the end and making sure that they hit all the quality marks. So,
Well, welcome, and hopefully when we see you at GaryCon this year, you won't be sick.
oh, yeah, that was a con crud that I'd been there, I think like you had for Founders and Legends, and there was a lot of exposure. So
Yes, as Josh of course points out, you didn't show up sick, so whatever. Yeah.
yep.
Always correcting things, Josh, right? Yes, but it's not that far off, so we're all excited about that. And welcome back on. Really appreciate it. Big Mac, David,
Yeah.
welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm David Big Mac Shepherd. I'm the founder of Spelljammer Wiki, the Spelljammer Encyclopedia, and I run the Wild Space magazine, which is same as Visions and Grey Grimoire, but for Spelljammer, and also administer the Piazza forums. And I got on board because they needed a Spelljammer consultant.
And if you're into Spelljammer, you're going to be super impressed and super happy with this book if you haven't looked at it yet. So it's pretty impressive. But yeah, thank you for coming
Thanks.
on, and we'll give you all the time you want to talk about what you have in here. So really looking forward to it. And then Anna is also a contributor. Anna, why don't you just say what you did for this?
I'm a lot of map material, heraldry, and a few editing capabilities here and there. So I've assisted Lee on some of the colorization and some Photoshop work and editing a little bit back and forth. That's about it. So I haven't really I've seen the part of the project during the assembly of it, so to speak, and was written, but I haven't seen the final product until now. So in its final shape, so to speak. So it's this is awesome. Yeah. So I have a minor role, a little bit here and there, so to speak. Yeah.
That's roll nonetheless, Anna. So great to see you, and co-hosting here, and like I said, she may be main hosting for if I have to go away for a couple minutes at a time here.
Mm-hmm.
And then lastly, the main brain behind all this, Troy Alleman. You know him as Cannibal on chat. Welcome.
Hey, everybody. Troy Alleman here, Cannibal Publishing. Couple things I just wanted to state, and then I'm going to turn it over to my team to talk about this awesome product. First off, expect a podcast from Greycast that's going to drop Monday. We recorded that last week. Second, this was a huge team effort. People were like, there's no way you're going to get that done in time. We literally started this project the same night as Jay's Ask the Experts from virtual Greyhawk Con.
Wow.
From that show, I immediately called a production meeting right afterwards, and we went to work with the lofty goal of getting this out by November 12th or close there too, when the physical copy of the new DMG 2024 released. Yeah, it was a firm whip hand was needed. There was plenty of gnashing of teeth and long nights, a lot of hard work with this team. I am confident in everybody in this team, how they performed, stuck to the vision. And I think we're receiving those accolades and justification with the reviews and what people are saying. And this last thing, yesterday we received an email from DM's Guild that said that, well, let me just read it, because that'll be better. Dear Troy Alleman, regarding your product titled War to Greyhawk Gazetteer Revised, I saw your message in the product description, and I feel comfortable saying you can begin the print-on-demand process for your product without the 500 qualifying sales. We're doing this because your product is well made, and as long as you see one of our approved layout designers, or if you have the proper know-how, you can submit the print files built by a non-approved designer. But if there are any issues, you will need to use an approved designer. We think it would be worth it for a good Greyhawk Gazetteer book. Let us know if you have any questions.
They also were kind enough to link it in Twitter, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
And the newsletter, they put us in the newsletter as well.
oh, it's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
And again, that was, I mean, it was a thank you, how I took it and how the whole team took it for the job that we did. Like, that verifies that it is a high quality product. The thing I've always said about this community, we have the talent. We can compete with any of the major publishers. And this proves it. That's somebody that doesn't even know us, and they made that decision and was like, this product is so good. Here. And I thanked him, and he did reply back, but I'm not going to take up any more time. I want to now go to the team. You guys talk about all your respective areas in this product, and
We should let Paul talk.
thank you all.
I have one question for Troy.
Thank you, Troy. Yeah.
One question. You started this before DM's Guild was announced.
Correct.
You had an educated guess?
No.
Okay.
I just from your show and the people's reactions on that show.
Right. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
I know that this product needed to be made to help, guide the new people who are just first seeing Greyhawk from the DMG, and try to help grow the Greyhawk community. That was the whole mindset.
Okay.
For this whole project.
It's fantastic.
Troy did 2 pivots while we were doing this. It was like we were building the car while driving down the road.
Yep.
And he's like, we need another wheel on the side.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the sticky part with it, right? We started writing.
Right.
And then the DM's Guild announcement came, and then we still had to wait until some of us got the digital copy 2 weeks early of the DMG, and then pivot what we were going to do, because then we knew, okay, they covered this area, but they didn't cover any of this stuff. So our product complements that new DMG.
And you'll see that if as we go through this, if you have the DMG already, you'll see it, and it really does a great job doing that. All right, so Troy, you're welcome to stay if you're gonna.
No, I'm here. I want them to talk.
Very, very cool. So let me go
go ahead, Paul. You're the one that's got to leave soon.
Yeah.
All right. So this
Don't
is
give me the credit. Yeah.
most up to date version here. Fantastic job. I guess we just start real quick. I love the cover. Who we had do the cover art?
It's Joey Dossel.
Okay.
Yep. Joey Dossel, long time D&D-er, long time Greyhawker.
Yeah.
When he was brought into the project, he was like a kid in a candy store. It was absolutely just tickled that he was working on Greyhawk stuff.
I love the old Knights of the Great Kingdom.
Yeah, that's 100% to pay homage to the original, obviously. So.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah, I just love to give a shout out to Troy, man. He was chief of the boat, as I keep calling him. He brought this together. It was his vision. It was a team effort, but he kept the whip on us, and a lot of the community projects I've worked on without a deadline, you can take your time and you can polish it and you can work on it and so forth. But this was almost like a commercial operation because we had a deadline we had to work to, and Troy kept reminding us of that, and we had to pivot a couple of times. I mean, we were we were having to make strategic decisions. And this was an international team. There's like people
Yeah.
in the US, in the UK. I mean, Stu Kerrigan and Paul Luby helped work on this. We got David there, who's in the middle of the night in the UK. This was literally, international Greyhawk team here, which is
Yeah.
which is great. It shows how widespread the Greyhawk community is. But yeah, we had to pivot a couple of times. We had to make a strategic decision to start writing this before we'd seen the DMG, and we were really in two minds about that: is do we or don't we? And we went, well, we really want to get this to people ASAP. So we had to kind of take a leap of faith and start writing what we thought needed to be in there. And then when the DMG 2024 dropped and we saw what was in there, we had to go, okay, we need to adapt and pivot
Yep.
and work with that. But like Troy said, the aim really here was to try and make this a bridge to be welcoming to the new fans, because we all here been loving this campaign setting and this setting for decades. I mean, I was away for a long time, then I came back, but I played in Greyhawk in the 80s, so it was always there in the DNA, so to speak. But we've got a lot of people coming to us. I mean, D&D is such a big game now. It's tens of millions of people all around the world, and we kind of got our wish or our nightmare, depending upon what your attitude is, that they brought Greyhawk back now. And we always said that was going to be a challenge if it ever happened, and now it's happened. And
Yeah.
we really want to try and welcome those new people. And that was very much something that Troy came up with the mission profile. So this is what we're going to do, guys, and we all bought into
Yeah.
that. And it really was, let's try and welcome people in. And um, when we sat down and I kind of threw together the format and I looked at the folio, which we worked out, that the DMG section's based largely on. And I looked at the gold box and I looked at the D&D Gazetteer. Actually, that D&D Gazetteer, 32 pages, was what I really looked at that, because that to me was short, sharp, to the point.
Skip's third edition one.
Yeah, the
Okay.
32-page summary one, because
Mhm.
it was short, sharp, and to the point. We couldn't, and we weren't hoping to try and do an LGG here. It would have been lovely to do a 300-page, detailed Gazetteer of 576, but
Right.
we didn't have the time, and I think that's not what new DMs and players want. We're trying to welcome them in and give them a little bit of a taster and say, hey, and that really became the mission here, which was, there's more. There's more. And at the same time, giving them that message, which is, hey, take what you want, use what you want, ignore what you want, make it your own. And I think that was kind of the welcoming message we tried to put in there in the preface and the introduction, is to say, hey guys, just be aware there is 40 years of stuff here that you can dive into and roll around in and use what you want. And that was the real aim of this, was to to take what we knew, and we've all got varying levels of knowledge of this, and try and give something that wasn't too long, but still gave them a taste of, hey guys, there's a lot of stuff here if you want to dive into it. And it was quite amazing that a lot of the work that the community's been doing over the last few years made that job easier. And for example, Matthew Fenn, Matthias, sat down while we were doing this process and did what's now Appendix A, which is a comparison of the old and the new. And I think he leveraged that off some work that Samwise did. And that popped up, and we went, hey Matt, that's just perfect. Can we use that? And he's like, yeah, sure, go. Bang, that plugged straight in, and it just worked. A lot of the further reading stuff that had been done for the postcards of the Flanos through Cannon Fire, we managed to leverage that. I had to do a lot of work to citate it up properly and so forth, but there were all these kind of streams and little bits and pieces that came together for this to really put it in the one document. Paul Luby had just before this dropped, came out with a really nice summary of all the published materials and a list of the Dragon and Dungeon articles, which Rich Diallo had done, and he dropped that on his blog. And I looked at it and went, "This is exactly what we need," And I've been working with Paul before. Can we use this? And he's like, "Yeah, just credit it, man." So it was just funny. All these things were coming together, and just in a perfect way. There was still a lot of work to put this together. It was really trying to think to ourselves, okay, what do they want that gives them just enough to give them the taste of the Greyhawk goodness, but not overwhelm them? And that was a big part of it too, is we didn't want to scare people coming into the setting. Some people complain that Forgotten Realms is a bit like that, they've reset it several times and you always feel like you're drowning in the lore. if you dive into Greyhawk a bit too deep, too fast, you might feel like that. But we were trying to give that taster of, hey, there's a lot of good stuff here if you want to look at it and kind of give it to them in bite-sized pieces and point them in the right direction. Hey, if you want to know more about the Rennie, go read this article and leave them to work out what they want to do. So, and I think we've succeeded. What's been amazing is, we've pushed it out there on social media and various, platforms and stuff, and we seem to be getting good reception both from people who are D&D but new to Greyhawk, but even the older fans, the grognards, as we affectionately call ourselves, are reading this stuff and going, "Wow, we really like that." And I think it gets back to Troy's point, which is Troy has always had this philosophy of trying to make it look as good and professional as it can, and look like it's come out of a third-party publisher. And I mean, look at that cover; it's beautiful. When Troy shared that to the team, when Joey did it, we all just like blew us away. And
Yep.
it's just awesome to have worked on a project like this. And Troy's putting money in his own pocket. He's commissioned art. There's no AI art in this. I know there's a lot of controversy about the use of AI art. I understand why people do it. I understand why people don't like it. But this thing is beautiful, and it's got commissioned art from some really great artists. We've got Anna's. Anna did a map for this. Based on her own work. Again, all this stuff coming together that's been there for years. Her heraldry's in there. She's only looking at it, and it's kind of stuff she's done before, but just to flick through the realms and everything's got that the heraldry that Anna's done, it really brings it out. You look at Erdiak, North Province, bang, there's their banner, there's their coat of arms with I think it's a dragon on it. It really gives it a visual emphasis and really brings it alive. So I love flicking through this now and looking at it and just, we made this, and it seems to have been really well received, but the aim always was to try and welcome in those new DMs and new players. And that's part of why we went to DM's Guild. When they announced DM's Guild, we had to make a decision about that. And we said, well, do we want to do this the way we've been doing stuff previously? Or do we go for maximum eyeballs? And that was the decision, we made as a team. We go for maximum eyeballs. We're trying to get this out there to welcome as many people to Greyhawk.
Absolutely.
So that's probably my summary. This is a lot of time, a lot of effort from a lot of people, but wow, what a great product we made as a team. It's been great to work on this, and it's nice to reach the finish line. And there's Anna's, some of her heraldry there, and Lee's layout.
Yep.
One thing I will say is, if you've got a copy of this, and I didn't appreciate this until like 2 days ago when I finally downloaded the copy, I'd pay for it too because I'm boosting the numbers. Have a look at the edges and the parchment effect on this. That's Lee's work. You can see the little runes and stuff.
Yeah.
I was zooming in on this trying to read the runes. It's like, it's the little details. It's a really beautifully made passion project, and I'm really proud to have been part of it. So
the font for the table of contents and the titles is like eye-catching too, because it looks like it changes. It looks like with the light. It's an awesome font. I mean, it just looks, it's sharp. It snaps, So it was really cool. A cool effect. So it's very, very well done here. So let's we're looking at 83 pages, 84 pages.
83, 84, yeah, I think it's 84.
That's awesome. Okay, all right. And we'll try and get through almost everything tonight if possible. And if we want to round table it, then you each go over some highlights you want to talk about, or we can go to sections. However you want to dissect going through this, but let's go down to the credits here. So, Troy, you want to say anything about the group?
Nah, let them speak.
Okay.
They earned it.
Well, let's just stay 1 minute on the cover, which I think it's it's really cool because it is several parts, so to speak. Meaning you have the awesome sketch with the knights and that based on the original box set that was done in black and white, and then colorized afterwards, and then I texturized it, and then we had the surrounding parchment was also done in black and white as a sketch that I gave some color and some textures to it, and then Lee put it all together with the fonts and stuff. So that was really a collaborative effort, and I think that was also really cool, kind of showing this project. Meaning we took commission art, we took stuff that was part of done before, so to speak, that was laying around, make good use of pieces that were already in the community, and put it together as a team. And I think just the cover page in itself kind of shows that was something new, something borrowed, a lot of collaboration, so to speak. That I think is really cool.
And I need to point out something. Joey Dosel did the knights, right?
Mm-hmm.
The border was done by Felipe Ferraria.
Yep.
So this is two artists' work combined to make the cover.
Yep. Yep.
Is what
And
we
then
did with
then
this.
we were colorizing it, texturizing it a bit, and give it some shading and some depth, and then Lee put it all together with the fonts and all that at the end, so to speak. So I think that's just shows that it's not like one person painting all this. It's several different talents all put together and then kind of put together by Lee. Yep.
Yeah, it's awesome. Very cool. So yeah, you can see the uncolorized version of that night right there, right?
Yep.
Which is really
And we can also mention we used Darlene's Greyhawk, her font
with the E and the Y connect,
that I
yeah.
helped her develop some years ago. That's another one of these collaborative efforts earlier on that now comes back and can be reused in the stuff, so to speak, which is yeah. So yeah.
Are the runes around in any language, Lee?
So they are actually the symbols from some of the fonts that were used in the original.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right
they
here.
are the elementals
Yeah,
and
they're
then
back
the
in here.
symbols
They're
from
back in the original 80 set.
83 box set and
Right here.
from
Here they
from
are.
the ashes.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool, man.
Yep.
Beautiful. Love that connection. Okay.
That was really beautiful.
Yeah. It's really, really nice. Okay. So others that are not on, you can go through this list. You got a lot of artists there. BioRaven.
They are a fantasy artist.
A fantasy artist, okay.
They do some sketches here and there, and they added one piece to help fill up a little bit.
There you go.
We just about killed Lee because it ended up being longer than we envisioned. And then, of course, you don't want to have page after page of text. And Lee was there going, what am I going to fill this with? And so,
Poor Lee, you're it's like, I'm just amazed how quickly you get this done. And yeah.
Yeah, I've had the opportunity over the last 20 months to be involved in 18 different fully completed Greyhawk projects.
Wow.
Ranging from Visions of Greyhawk to this product to the Arm of Qualish that Troy put out. So it's been a wild ride, and I'm starting to recognize places besides the Isle of Dread now in Greyhawk.
Yep. Come on,
yeah.
You see it all now.
Great.
He's even learning the acronyms when we throw them at him, like, CO8. It's like, what?
Yeah.
That's Circle of 8? You'll learn it. Yeah.
Yep.
We're training him.
I'll actually toss you out. One of the projects that I have coming up is Valley of the Mage supplement. That is in the process of being laid out. So
nice.
Super excited about that.
Okay. Forward. Once again, I know Troy, you want other piece. See, I got Alan Hammock on here, which is great.
That was kind of the philosophical underpinning that we started with. Is like I think I raised it, and I thought it was a Gary Gygax quote, and then I got corrected because there's a lot of knowledge in the room.
Yeah.
And it's Alan Hammock, but we kind of I didn't. I ended up writing that forward, and it was checked through and kicked around and stuff like that. But we started writing it, and then I actually went back and I had to write the forward for my own mental kind of focus because it kind of set the tone, and the forward's tone was set by that first quote, and that underpinned the philosophy that Troy had brought there in the first project meetings, funnily enough, which was, make it your own. And that's kind of the message. We talk about it all the time. It's kind of a truism in Greyhawk, but it's the message we wanted to push for people coming into Greyhawk, through the 2024 DMG. It's like, hey, welcome, make it your own. Jay, you're the perfect, example of that. You've been running a campaign for what now, 42 years.
40.
That is not
almost 45.
I've lost count. It's been going so
I wish it was less because I'd be younger then. I wouldn't have to be going through what I'm going through now. So
don't we all wish that? Yeah.
Yeah.
But the point is like, your Greyhawk is not the same as anyone else's. It's not vanilla Greyhawk, and no one's is. But everyone makes it their own. But at the same time, it's still got that shared shared, understanding and community. It's like so, and that's the message we were really trying to push here, and that comes right out of that quote from Alan that you've pointed to there, which is welcome, but make it your own. Take what you want, ignore what you want. There is no, and that's what the message I tried to put in that forward, which was there is no right way and no wrong way. There's your way, and if you're having fun, that's what it's about. And that was kind of the welcome we were trying to put because the one thing, the Greyhawk community can produce great stuff, but sometimes it's got that hard edge where it's like, oh, well, you're doing it the wrong way and you got to do it this way. And we really didn't want to have that. We were trying to get completely opposite 180 and say, no, no, look, some people are like that. And I think that's in any sort of fan community, where it's Star Trek or Star Wars or Forgotten Realms or whatever. We were really trying to get away from that and try and say, hey, there is no right way or wrong way. Just, welcome in and pick up what you want and run with it and have some fun with it. And just realize that there's 40, and it's in the forward. There is 40 years of material written by some of the greatest writers in D&D history. And as we know, a lot of them loved Greyhawk for various reasons. And why wouldn't you make use of it? Hey, if you're a DM and you don't want to make any use of it, that's up to you. Have some fun.
Right.
But there's so much great stuff here, as we all know. It's like, dive in the pool and swim around in it and enjoy it. So, but sorry, that was my Alan Hammock kind of segue.
No, that's awesome. So I noticed here you shouted out I'm sorry, Gary and Eric Mona and Len Lakofka in here, which is nice. That was a nice shout out for Len. He really does deserve not to be forgotten. So I want to ask about this. If there's a hidden meaning here, and you put them in saying the material available for use for 40 years of published material and also fan produced material, with some of these fans being those who wrote the published material, often referred to as apocryphal as a result. Just stating that there's product all over the place and you can pick from any of it.
Yeah, but it's also the case of, as we know, there's been people who've written officially, but have also written unofficially. And that's kind of, people will look at it and go, hey, is that canon? No, it's not. Well, what is it? Well, it's apocryphal. But to tell you what, if Roger Moore writes an article about the gates of Greyhawk and it gets published in a fanzine, I'm going to pay a hell of a lot of attention to it.
Even Gary Gygax, meaning the Gorge stories, that after the first two books, the rest of it is kind of that way too. You couldn't,
And if you have a look at the appendix, G or H, the one that's based on the Paul Luby, which is based on the Rich material, is we actually talk about that. And we say, hey, the Gord the Rogue novels you've got to understand that it's not all canon. It's kind of, some of it's more weighted than others.
Appendix G. Yeah.
Sorry, Appendix G, because that was a really great source. But we tried to go through that and say, hey, the Gord the Rogue novels, there's some great stuff in there, but it's not all official canon. And that's so that the hidden meaning, I suppose, there was that you've got these different grades of from full canon to what's the timeline in Earth Journal 1, is that official? And it was kind of a little bit of a nod to that. Again, we didn't want to overwhelm people with a law debate here, but it was kind of probably a reference in passing to that.
Yeah, and you also put it into eras, meaning you have the classic era, the Greyhawk Wars era, the New World era, the 5e continuity coming now, and so on. So that also I think is helpful for people who now come into it way later, decades after this happened.
Well, that was based on work that Samuel Dillon, DM Samuel, had done. He's got a great blog post about that, which I always go back to. And Paul Luby similarly, he broke it up into very similar eras in that appendix. And literally someone on, I think it was Reddit or someone posted back and actually said, I think they must have been a seasoned campaigner and said, that's just on the money. That's a great way to summarize it. And that's why we used it.
No, it's really succinct. And I'll give you an example. Someone was just on a Facebook post on one of the Greyhawk sites, and he's like, am I the only one that's starting a new campaign in the Wars era? And I said to him, I highly doubt it, but the only one that I've seen that you've posted about it, right? So, so people are aware of, I think, a little bit more now, and this can only help. And a lot of people are really confused about, and hopefully this helps, the new stuff is 576, right? Everything, it's all 576 based. They're not going 605 or whatever, so that's good. It's good to put that in here. You got the with the living Greyhawk era down here running at 591 and 98,
I
and then
gotta say too, I think that that's a stroke of genius on their part. I don't know if there was somebody
Yeah.
really smart there did that or not, because when you set it back to 576, right?
mhm,
That means that everything that's been done, right? It didn't get erased. Everything that's been done up to now,
can
you
happen.
can choose
Yeah,
whatever you want,
great point.
and then you just add it into it, right?
Yeah.
So if they did add more stuff or whatever, you've got all this whole 40 some whatever odd years of material, right? And it's all open canon, right? So that was a super smart way of doing it by
Yeah.
Yeah,
drawing it back.
we saw that with I want to say the Dragonlance was the
Reset.
first to be quote unquote reset back to the Tales of the Lance time period versus
Mhm.
a continuation of either the existing timeline or a
Right.
massive time skip. Uh, so yeah.
So why don't we do this? What is a round table? What's your favorite part? What's your favorite idea you have in here? Something you contributed to that you're like, wow, this is cool. So, Will, what do you think?
Well, I'd say like I did on the podcast, because it's the art, right?
Okay.
Because this is what I helped
Yeah.
with most. But I think that Dan Smith's art always great. He's a Greyhawk like staple now. His work has appeared in so much Greyhawk stuff in the community. But I thought bringing Joey in and introducing him to the community, um, his stuff has such a good grit to it that translated so well into what is Greyhawk, right? So when I gave him the ideas as far as okay, this is I want this, and then I want this, and then when he was able to bring those to life, it hit it right on. It was a dead on the nose Greyhawk gritty kind of image, and I thought it was perfect. The battle scenes that are in here are my favorite,
Can I
hands
can I bring
down.
something up on this
Yeah.
picture?
Sure.
Monster Manual 1 has elves 10% two-handed sword. So who was the right? So who was the genius that decided that
I
elf needs
told
to have a two-handed sword?
I told you Joey's old school,
Wow,
man. He's been playing
that
for a
that
long
is
time.
yeah, that is
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
How do you know that, Jay? Off the top of your head, how do you
Because
know that?
just been playing
Called it
forever. So yeah, I mean that I caught that immediately. I was like, wow, that
beautiful
is
mind.
cool. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, really some great stuff, and logoed and heraldried up too,
Mhm.
all the pictures. So and artwork. Yeah, really fantastic. Well, okay, cool. I'll keep on scrolling through, but I know Paul, you got to leave soon. So what about you? What's your like favorite thing in here
Um, when
or
we're on the
highlight?
podcast, yeah, we were on the podcast last week, and I think in hindsight it was a selfish answer, which was I said the
It's
art
okay.
because I loved looking at the art, and then David came in after me and gave the answer I should have given, um, and I think it was the further reading because I think that's kind of the taster and the helpful steps for people coming in new. And I hadn't really thought about it because I have done so much further reading myself. And if you go look at my blog, I've got a resources list, which I kind of just jam stuff in there. And it's almost like a further reading list, of stuff. It's almost like a bookmark list for me, but I can easily point people to it and go, oh, you're looking for a weather generator? Have a
Right.
look at these two websites. And I think the further reading stuff in there is really useful because for a new person coming into Greyhawk, again, we don't want to intimidate them with all the new lore, but this kind of lets them know, hey, you can take it at your own pace. And if you're interested in the silent ones, Gary Hollian wrote an article in the Living Greyhawk Journal, and here they don't have to spend hours and stumble on it by accident or have one of us mention it and say, oh yeah, there's an article. It's literally there. So it's like, oh, I'm reading about this. Oh, these silent ones sound interesting in Keeland. Oh, there's an article about them, and they go and find that. We said at the beginning, hey, that you can find this stuff, almost all of it on Drive-Thru RPG and DM's Guild. By giving those little pointers, those little signposts of where to go read this stuff, we're saving them so much time. And I think it's almost, for some of us, it's assumed knowledge. Doesn't everyone know that the elves use 10% of them? And I've come back into the game only in the last 4 or 5 years. And I mean, I played in Goldbox. There's a lot of stuff, all the wars, all the LGG came after I left the game. So I've had to learn that, but I've also learned a lot of it in the last 4 to 5 years. And then you forget when you come into it how much there is, it gets intimidating. So I think the further reading lists, when David suggested it on the podcast, I went, that's the answer I should have given. Damn you, David. So I think I'll steal David's answer, which is that. I think
That's great.
He got it before you, David.
he can say
Yeah.
it's his idea.
So it says that Paul. This is Paul Luby's list, which is cool. Was it his idea for it to put keystones down, ones that are
They're the ones that Paul tagged. So we basically ran off the back of that. We went to him and said, look, man, this is such a great resource.
right?
We're literally working on this. Can we use it? And he said, yeah, look, just credit it and maybe change some of this stuff. Like we had to chop out the like there's Rich did those. He went through and found all the dungeon and the dragon articles. We had to take that out. It was just too much. It was like pages and pages. But you can go to Paul Luby's you can go to Paul Luby's blog, which has got a list there, and it's all on there in his PDF. And you can also go, Rich's lists are on Canon File website from memory. So again, we're pointing the signpost. Hey, we haven't given you everything, but there's more if you want it, and go find it. Yeah. And look, for example, shout out again, Stuart Kerrigan and Paul Luby did their classic Greyhawk guide, and the historical overview in this one is the same text because they were writing it at the same time. And when we went, I was about to write that, and I went, Stu, can we use this? Because it's like, I'm just going to be reinventing the wheel. And he said, yeah, go ahead.
Nice.
So because, and look, Stu and Paul are Greyhawk diehards. Like, they worked live in Greyhawk on wall. They know what they're doing. Stu's been putting out product, and it's great product. The Fiend Sage and the Doom Knights and stuff. Oh, Fiend Knights of Doom. Anyway, getting my Fiends and my Fiends mixed up. It was great to have them on board, and we plugged that stuff in. We plugged Paul's stuff in. That was, again, it gets back to my point before. It was amazing how some of these threads came back together for stuff that's been on the boil or been done over the last few years, and it just really came back and rewarded us.
When you look through this, you're like, oh my God, there's actually a lot of stuff.
Yep. And there was a bit of work in cleaning up the formatting on that, and then I handed it to Lee, and he cleaned it up even more. So yeah.
Okay.
But no, I mean that's a great resource right there, and then that's even without the dungeon and the dragon articles again, which is coming out of Rich's work and Paul's work. I mean, I look at that and I'm like, man, I'm going to use that resource, and if I need to go find something, I'm going to look in there. It's a great resource even for people who know the area. That's what I think is great. I read this and I helped write it, and I'm like, there's stuff in here I'm going to use.
Well, that's a great answer. It's yours now. Lee, how about you?
Well, actually, I think I think it might have been me who said it before David about this section. Even as somebody who sorry, Paul, I'm calling you out. But even as somebody who, at the end of the day, I don't read through all the text that I'm working with, during it, but this section stood out to me as somebody who, my Greyhawk experience is as a whole limited to the adventure paths out of the quote unquote Paizo Hawk era. And, going through and seeing all this material, am I going to use every bit? No. But now I have the opportunity to go in and drill down on an area that, we're excited to play in, we're going to play in. And then knowing that all these players can, all the new people will have that material at their fingertips instead of, trying to go through 12 different websites, all that. It's all in a central place. So,
okay.
Yeah.
It's impressive because there's stuff here that I've never even looked at. Like, wow, like this D&D 3.5e web enhancements.
Yeah.
I think Stu and Paul wrote half of them, but anyway, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, so they knew firsthand that it's available, and it's like, wow, there's resources here for everyone. Like, because there's some of this I don't know, so you've brought to my attention things I can utilize now that I did not before, and even if it's like fourth edition or fifth, you can always pull it back and convert it to whatever you're playing. If you're playing CNC or OSE or whatever, it doesn't matter.
If it's a good idea, you can use it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's fantastic. How about you, Mac? I know. Let's go to Spelljammer.
Well, no. I mean, what actually got me on
stole it.
board with this was like I was at the original meeting that Troy had, and like I was on board it within like a minute. Yeah, the whole idea of this was the people reading the 2024 DMG, they're having a different experience of Greyhawk as they come in. It's 576, so it's 1E, but it's different 1E from how it was before. Yeah. And we need to talk to them on their terms. Yeah. And there's loads of stuff where that's gone in through the book, like we're using the new names from the DMG, and then there's the old names in brackets. The old names in brackets are not there because the new name is wrong. The old names are in brackets so that you could look it up on the wiki, or so that you could look up stuff, you can find stuff. So it's got stuff about the new rulers, but it tells you stuff about the old things that fits in with the sources and all that stuff. And one of the things that isn't text that impressed me is there are some art pieces in there, like an old school Dragonborn, right? So this is new stuff, but old. Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming
it's absolutely perfect.
I'm assuming this is Spine Castle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a picture of like the humanoids taking Spine Castle over ever.
Yeah, awesome. I saw that when that was coming in, and if you zoom in on some of the people, the expressions on them, the people that are like, I'm running away. The people who are like, come on, we can take them. There's different emotions going on those people.
I think that's one of the best pieces of art in there. It's just, I mean, as you say, you can if you know Greyhawk, and you can tell it's Spine Castle, and that's like, it's so evocative. It's like, I mean, if you know Spine Castle, that was not a good day in Spine Castle, and it's conveyed in that artwork. It's like, there's bad crap going down here, people. This is not a good day.
Paul, it's hard to beat an elf with a two-handed sword. No, they're all fantastic. I'm just saying, it's all great. So yeah, but just stuff that really stands out. Now I'm going to flip to the main screen. Anna, I want you to talk about yours because I gotta bolt for like a minute or two. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So for me so for me it's very much the thing that stand up useful for me is the appendix, because you guys have talked about all the good bits, but the appendix is just like the original DMG. The appendix is where the best stuff is hidden, so to speak, and I think that's very much so for me too. And one thing that I needed, especially in times like this, is the appendix A, the lore changes, because now I can keep track of and get listed all the changes, so I know what the new name and the new ruler or whatever it is, so to speak. So that might be a good thing. And then of course the whole plethora of the best, I think the best so far list of all the source material and stuff. That's brilliant. And since I'm going to start taking the sources of all the stuff on my maps, this is golden to have this at this time. So perfect timing too, and very, very useful. So I think the appendix, I will read all of it, of course, but I think the appendixes is where I will digest that and keep using it for years, so to speak.
And if I can say this, it hit the editing floor because of Lee, because he needed to cut a page out. But when people look at it and they see there's appendix A and G and H, and they go, "Where's B to F?" It's like, we gave appendix G and H those letters because it was a little bit of a joke. It's G and H for Greyhawk, and that's a kind of a homage to appendix N. So yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yep.
So we actually didn't have appendix A originally. Mateus wrote that, and then we press ganged it and put it into the project. That's the thing. We were taking whatever would help. But appendixes G and H were a deliberate gag of Greyhawk. And part of when we were talking about this at the beginning was that, hey, we're not going to necessarily be able to jam everything into the main body. We can stick stuff in appendixes just like they did in the DMG back in the day. And, that
Yep.
really worked, I think. It really worked.
Mhm.
Everything old's new again. It worked in 1980. It works now. So,
Yeah, and it's cool that even the format as a hidden homage to the original stuff back in the day, so to speak, and it covers so yeah. So and also like the art is also a kind of a tie back to old school original Greyhawk stuff, and also some of these are a nod to Ken Frank's late first edition Greyhawk sketches and Wayne Reynolds and stuff that also did some of the these iconic Greyhawk stuff in that late 1990s, mid 1990s, late 1990s era. That so a lot of that is really good. So okay, are you good, Jay? That's good.
Yeah, if you notice, I have black shorts on now, not gray anymore. So,
Uh-oh.
Smart man.
Yep.
Smart man.
Yep.
Jesus God.
Yeah,
All
we're talking
right.
about the appendixes being some of the most useful stuff, and also a kind of an homage to the old DMG.
Okay. All right. So, why don't we just start skipping through sections? How's that sound? Make the most sense?
Sounds good.
And I want to
Please,
I,
Dave,
I
go
want to say I misspoke because I've been staring at this for quite a while, so it's all one big memory to me. But I will toss out. I think David was actually the person who brought up the further reading. There's a section at the end of the book that's nothing but tables, and that is the differences between first and fifth edition releases.
Appendix
And
A, yeah.
it's a translation guide
Yep.
that Paul spoke of. And I want to say it is the next chapter.
I think it's Appendix A. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's A.
Appendix A. Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was Matthias's work, yeah, based
Yep.
on Samwise's analysis,
Okay.
yeah.
There it
Um,
is.
yep.
Okay, cool.
And in a
And
way, it's kind of cool. You can use it like snow barbarians that have a King Ingemar, but now you have Queen Ingrid too, so you can kind of just add it in, and you're good to go. So it's some of it is not upturning things, so just add to it. So you can, yeah. I'm sorry, Lee.
no, and that's the whole point. The new names for things are actually listed first. The idea being that for everybody who's been playing Greyhawk, all I know is when I can recognize the names, I make the grand assumption most of the fans out there are going to know them first. So you'll see things like instead of Blackmore, Arn is listed first in Northern Flyness. And you'll also see a list of changes, that are just at a glance, and that gives the DMs and players who are lucky enough to help build their Greyhawk. It gives them, hey, this is what it was. How can I integrate that material with the new stuff? Or, I like the old stuff, or I just want to stick to the new stuff for this country. So all of that is listed right at a glance. So,
Yeah, I love that sort of aspect. It's a cheat sheet for newbies because
Thanks, Patrick.
I think we've all had
And
this thing when
Grognards. And Grognards, yeah.
yeah, and for
Yep.
Grognards as well.
Exactly.
I mean,
Meaning it works both ways.
yeah, if
Meaning I
Grognards
need to read it. And, yeah.
Grognards want to go from Ghost of Saltmarsh and move things backwards, yeah. But I'm thinking of it from the point of view of I've been doing Greyhawk research for some time and Dragonlance research and Forgotten Realms research, trying to find everything that's useful for Spelljammer. And that stuff takes time. And, this is going to reduce the amount of time people need to waste before they know Greyhawk well enough to run adventures.
Yep.
No, I mean, and again, that was the thing. This was really intended for some people coming in, new friends to Greyhawk coming in. They're going to go, oh, I've just read chapter 5 of the DMG. I'm interested in this Arn play. So it's like if we put it in there as Blackmore, they're going to go, I can't find this Arn play. We're trying to make it easy for them. We'll work it out, but I had this conversation with Troy the other day. The fact of the matter is, in 20 years' time, we want a whole bunch of the new generation sitting around like this, still talking about Greyhawk, because we're retired or playing in the retirement home or shuffled on. It's like, we want Greyhawk to be here in another 50 years. And that was always the concern. If WotC's not supporting it, is it going to be here? They're now opened it up, but it really is. We all love this setting, and the stories told in it, and telling more stories about it. And it really is. It's like we got to help bring that next generation in. David said this before. Right? We had this conversation a couple of years ago. It came up in a chat, and we just want this. We want more people to come in because, hey, one, we have fun here, but two, we want the stories to continue to be told even once we're gone. That's you kind of. I think everyone wants that. They want to leave a legacy. We want to build a little legacy in Greyhawk. So. There's more people having fun here and keep telling the stories.
On this, you have now you all officially have noted we have a Han versus Greedo moment here with the twin cataclysms. So that's cool.
Lord Breslin has said that's the official announcement. He's told me.
That's a nice touch.
He said the truth has come out finally. It's like, thank you, Lord Breslin.
DM Angelo, great question. Yes, for official, for publications of this type, yes, in 5e. Now, let's just put that down that Carlos, Gleising, and others are going to publish on their own still, and with the names changed. But there's others. But as far as for official, being able to use the published source, yes, the answer is yes. Yeah, DM's Guild's the only place. So very.
And
nice.
I don't think that third party stuff that isn't DM's Guild, I don't think that's going anywhere. So
it's not.
That's a great example. Right,
you have some too.
Yeah, because I'm not publishing on DM's Guild anymore. I published one thing and that was it.
Right.
That was enough for me. And so like I still do Greyhawk stuff. I do named Greyhawk stuff. It's all free, right? But as far as going through and doing it there, and that's like Carlos. Carlos does his stuff. I'll be doing my stuff too, because I'll be doing stuff that I'll still be doing in print. Lost City of the Seoul, that's still going to come out. It's going to be independent, and it will have the serial numbers filed off so that I can actually put it out proper, right? Because otherwise, I can't put it out properly, and that's what I want.
And Will was kind enough during Virtual GreyhawkCon to give me an advanced copy, and I played a lot with Ed. Got to play in the Lost City of the Seoul, and so that's exciting that's going to be coming out. But there's people who will know the conversions for you. It's not. You could always just send Will a message, or as an example. So.
And thank you for Dale for reminding in chat that you have the option. Now we have 3 options if you want to publish for Greyhawk. You can publish on DM's Guild, and then you can use IP and you can publish it, and you earn I think half of the revenue goes to you get half the revenue, or you can do like Carlos and Will have done. You can file off the serial numbers, and then you can use alternate names, and then you can publish commercially, or you can use like I do and a lot of others, and Will also has some of the product use fan creation policy where you give the content away and ask for donations, and then you can also use proper names and stuff like that. But read the fan creation policy on Wizard's site, which is actually I think really generous compared to others. So hats off to Wizard in that case. Yeah, for letting us do that. So those are the 3 main ways you can legally publish Greyhawk stuff.
And I think one thing too is, there's been other people will release the Warlocks on DM's Guild. I think he said in the podcast, as a bit of a tester, maybe it doesn't work for him. But Joe Block's released some stuff that 3 Orcs have released stuff. I'm loving this. It's like the more Greyhawk, the better. Some of the stuff is varying qualities. But the good stuff I think will come out, and I think that'll happen over the next few years. Is the people that are producing good stuff, people will start to recognize that, and the stuff that's a little bit more generic, you'll work out who that is. But more the merrier. It's like we all just want to see. I think that's one of the big things that's going to come out of this is that DM's Guild does really provide a platform for people to put stuff out there, and when you see people you've never heard of that know Greyhawk and produce stuff, it's like that's a great thing. We're part of a community here, but we're not the only part of the community. So when people are dropping new Greyhawk stuff that that you can read it and buy or share for free and stuff, that's just making everything. It's just more material to play with and enjoy. It's great.
Yeah, it's more the merrier, but there's a difference between quality over quantity sometimes, so just that's the thing, and Troy said this earlier, you're getting great reviews on it, which shows its quality, which is fantastic, because we're probably getting a lot of people who aren't even part of the community that have downloaded it, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I
And
think
that's a
that's part,
sorry, go on, David.
I was going to say, I think that's part of the reason why Troy pivoted from us doing this as a free thing off of DM's Guild to a thing via DM's Guild. It's because we want to reach those new people and bring them into the community.
Absolutely.
But I think it's also too, it becomes a virtuous circle, because, and this is something we certainly talked about, is if we establish a reputation that this part of the Greyhawk community is producing quality material, people will pay attention to it. You want to have brand name recognition, for want of a better term. I mean, I think Troy's been producing some great stuff through Cannibal. Will does good stuff, Hannah does good stuff, but when you get known, then people start to pay attention, and then that thrives. You get some momentum. So I mean, I don't think this will not be the last thing we do together. It's certainly, God help us, but there's certainly an intention to keep doing stuff here, and I'd like to think that those good reviews will turn into people going, hey, if we drop something again in a month's time or 6 months time or 2 years time, they're going to go, hey, that's worth looking at. I'm going to pay attention to that, and that's that's part of the plan too. Here is we intended to make this a really good production, because we don't intend it to be the last one. The team might be slightly different, but Troy will be chief of the boat still, and we'll keep going.
Yep. And another good example of this, since this is a combined effort, a lot of it, like me and Lee, have worked on like more than a dozen Greyhawk products, and my art, heraldry, and maps and stuff is probably in more than a dozen or almost a dozen products on DM's Guild already. So that I'm aware of, that people have asked me. So in that sense, you don't have to sit and do the whole product. You can help out in small part, like David helping out in various capacities, always helpful and a great asset into the community in so many different ways, and Lee the same way, and I slug along with my map and heraldry and a few other things, and then that can be used in so many, because that way you can add things. So we have people that are expert at keeping tag of where do you find things, librarians, and have the knowledge, and other people can write and do editing and stuff. So even if you don't want to put together a whole thing, you might do sketches or whatever it is, meaning that there's so many different specialities needed in order to put together something cool like this. So if you have the skills and the interest in Greyhawk, reach out, and there's awesome ways you can help.
Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you all. I got to get back to work.
Thank you so very much
lunch
for
hour's
coming on.
over.
Really
Yeah,
appreciate
shake
it.
it, Paul.
Thank
Bye,
you
Paul.
again.
Thanks,
It's
Paul. Talk to you later,
Thanks,
sir.
Paul.
Hope you have a great
It has
day.
been my pleasure to work with you all. Jay, always a pleasure to be here.
Sure.
So look
Thank
after
you.
yourself, man.
Thank you.
And see you out there soon.
Thank you, Paul.
Have a good one.
Thanks, Paul.
So
yeah, Paul was really amazing.
So I was scanning through as the discussion was going on, the first couple sections. Going back to section 1, it appears a lot of this is right out of the 80 folio, right? Like months and the timeline, right?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. And I'm sorry, is this not in the Dungeon Master's Guide? I barely even looked at it, the new one.
So the if I recall correctly, the calendar and that sort are, and then the expanded timeline, as in we've added the other dates to it.
Oh, okay.
It is one of the things. Common Year is great, but if you are going back through different different source books, something might be listed under Soulish or Sul or Backloonish calendars. So yeah, there is a little bit of just cross-referencing.
Okay.
And there's also a brief kind of call out of the new DMG uses the 360-day calendar versus the calendar that
364, right? Is that it?
Yeah.
364? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Yeah, there were loads of little decisions like that
That's true. I didn't even. I heard about that. Like the weeks are those special festival weeks are 6 days long, not 7. Is that the difference?
Well, it's one extra day for each festival.
Right. Okay.
So what the weird thing it does is when you have those extra 4 days and you make those festivals 7 days instead of 6 days, you end up with a calendar, which I think you've talked about on your show. You end up with a calendar that repeats every year.
Yes.
The first day
Yeah.
of the year is Monday, or in Greyhawk terms, it's like that every year. So you can then design yourself a calendar that you can print out and just repeat that calendar for every year.
Noting some stuff here. My hero Prince Thrommel's mentioned in here. That makes me smile. So, yes, in human form. So
So you
great.
read
Not
the
an
part about
vampire
him
inside.
becoming a vampire, right?
Yeah, not a vampire
Anna
inside.
and I are going to handle that. So, come on, I promise.
I think
Yeah.
you're going to handle that. We'll see.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Let me just ask a general question to all of you here. Was there any things you were like worried about with race discussions?
Not really.
No, not
I know.
really.
I saw there's mixed ethnicity here. I mean, because they kind of took away half elves, half orcs. I'm just just curious.
No, we just went with it, and
Okay.
yeah.
And I really like how you you put in the Omen and 2 from Scarlet Brotherhood, and then also came down at the end and put other species in here, inclusive of all the 5e ones. Didn't highlight them as in their own main subcategory because there really is no history of talking about the races of Goliaths in a publication, right? So you put them in as here they are. Yeah. Okay. Very cool.
And the idea with that is for anyone who does want to include them, they get the opportunity to take the mix of lore from the original and the new, or completely create their own. And it's just giving them the skeleton, like Alan invited everybody to at the beginning. Make it your own.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
I guarantee you, every one of us who's DM'd in Greyhawk has something that 90% of all the other DMs are going to go, that's freaking crazy, right? I'm gonna. All right, so I won't pick anyone, but my kumquats. There you go. I mean, or something.
But
Whatever
no,
it is.
not crazy. That's cute.
All right, well, cute. Yeah. So, but
Yeah.
we all have that. So
Yeah.
Or I'll give you another
Rommel
one.
not being a vampire.
Yes,
right?
or Forgotten Realms deities that I use in
Yeah.
Greyhawk. A lot.
But
That's
Jay,
a no-no. Yeah, I'm just
use
saying. We all have
yeah,
it.
but Jay, use kumquats in your Greyhawk is probably the least controversial. Should be the least controversial thing ever. so
Don't
to
make me
speak.
laugh, Anna, please, because then you know what happens.
Oh yeah, really.
no.
What kind of fruit is used in an area shouldn't be. Then we're beyond redemption here.
Floodgates are coming. So you have a lot of further readings in other sections, which is really cool.
Yeah. It's very much here's some information, and
Roger
if you
gets-
want some more, here's where to go.
Yeah, Roger gets a lot of shout outs here in the races with all the great work he did in Dragons. So that's fantastic. Alrighty, so
Just
let's
some
see here.
amazing stuff.
Realms of the Flannis. Now, God, this is me coming from a place of ignorance. I know a lot of names were changed. Did they add any? Were any realms added, or like
Nope.
how
I don't
about-
think there was any added.
no
Nope.
Melkot, right? Melkot, which was on the 3rd edition map, is gone.
But it was so small that I think it was just overlooked
All right,
by
that's a
by
shame.
size. I
That's a
think.
shame,
Yeah.
so-
Because Melkot is one of these small little realms that have been overlooked in other products too, simply because it's such a small little place. It's like Dullstrand or one of these little city states kind of places that get
Yeah.
sometimes overlooked due to size, not bad intent, I think.
Patrick.
I'm not totally sure, but from what I understand, the process of Wizards of the Coast was just to get the 1E stuff and to change a few names.
Yeah.
So I don't think they would have added in
Thank you,
stuff
Jingo.
from 2 or 3E.
Beauty
that-
of a lot of the stuff that they did is the alternatives were there, right?
Yeah.
So they just used the alternative names or went with other names that were already in existence.
yeah.
Help me now because I'm already forgetting with my old man brain. The Rovers. It is the what
Wake Weir. Oh,
the
the
what
Rovers.
hunt-
No,
the
that's
something hunting grounds. The something but that's what the rovers refer to the
Yeah.
land themselves,
They're hunting
right?
lands. Yeah.
The hunting lands.
Yeah.
That's what the rovers refer to their land.
I
Yep.
So
particularly
everybody else refers to them as the rovers of the barrens.
Yeah.
So it's something that was already in the myth and lore that they
Yeah.
took, and then they just used that.
Yeah, I think it's the snow barbarians became the North Kingdom, which to me is the only weird one because there is a North Kingdom already in lore. So that's the only thing.
I thought they
really.
just used the barbarian names. I didn't think they did that.
Yeah, well, they screwed up that one. It
Oh.
confused people a little bit with that one, because
So-
there's no South Kingdom up there. So it's kind of they just. I don't know. There was someone had a hiccup at Woodsy that day, and so it's no biggie, but that was yeah.
So
that-
I'm going to ask
it-
this,
yeah.
Anna, with this question. I'm going to throw a firecracker in. Who
Uh-oh.
decided we're not going to have the population argument at all, and we're going to put the?
That's that we didn't discuss it. That was something that I think Paul did, and
Okay.
and that was good, so to speak.
Yeah, I
So,
think that's
yeah.
a good thing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
use the higher numbers and
Right.
go with it. So yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, that got brought up in the Piazza Forum.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very complicated thing. Would have required a lot of work.
That's for the deep dive after they get into stuff. There you go.
Yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
But one of these things I particularly like about the name changes that I actually 100% agreement with Wizards is when they rename the Scarlet Brotherhood area, because when you have a map and it says Scarlet Brotherhood, it says the bad guys are here, right? But when you change that out for
Mhm.
this very innocent name of a kingdom, which is the Scarlet Brotherhood's name that
Yeah.
they were using, yeah, now your players go, I wonder what's down there. Maybe we should go down there. And
Yeah.
they don't realize they're walking into a whole lot of trouble.
Yeah. And that's another example of Shar is the name of their kingdom, right? That wasn't just pulled out of thin air. That is what it is. And who would go around saying, "Yeah, our kingdom's called the Scarlet Brotherhood"? No, they'd say, "Yeah, it's Shar," right?
Yeah.
Good point.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like most of that stuff are not stretches of imaginations. It's all based in a lot of it's based in the actual lore. So it's,
Well, yeah, and even Air Dirac, the word kind of ties into the story. So even that is not too bad as
Yeah.
a word because it's based on Erdi. So it's kind of So I don't dislike it. I was just a little bit surprised, but that works. Yeah.
I'm going to go off into this political BS for 10 seconds. It's going on Twitter. We all know what we're talking about. One of the
Okay.
gentlemen involved in it should be very happy his name, Rob Kuntz, is throughout this, right? You gave him a lot of references that he has credit for, who said he's
Oh, yeah,
stated
because
he
they-
hasn't had
yeah.
any credit over the years, and you've given him a ton of it.
Oh
in
yeah,
here,
because
and that's fantastic.
we went through the things that were written back in the day are credited here. So yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
everyone knows the Knights of Doom are fantastic, going all the
Yeah,
way
we
back.
don't. Yeah,
and
yeah, we
okay.
don't shy away from
That's
it, so
great.
to speak. So yeah.
No.
Mhm.
Everyone who's, I was so happy to saw the Len and Eric Mona reference to earlier on.
Mhm.
Yeah, so guys,
I would love to see all those people that are still alive putting out ideas that they have, whether it's through DM's Guild or via a patron or via something like this or something else. Yeah, I'd love to see those people finish their stories, all of them.
well, I mean, I know Roger Moore's up to doing a lot more, right? Because I know he's
Yeah.
got some writings going on, and I know there's a lot of others. So we had a really cool idea last week thrown out there by Gary. Get Eric Mona, Eric Boyd, but Gary, and a couple others, and we're going to do the top 30 again. We're going to do, look at the top 30 publications or top 30 ventures, get all them together and let them brainstorm it live. I think it would be really cool. And then maybe we see where that leads. And maybe we get Roger more involved in that, or, whoever else. Or, there's still some people that I've not gotten here on the show. Oh, my God, my brain. The writer of N1? Another person. Oh, my God.
Is that Doug Niles?
Yeah, Doug Niles. Doug Niles, he's still around. He's still doing a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping to see it. Yeah. So there's a lot of people that can contribute. I agree with you 100%. 100% on that, Amico.
Speaking of adventures, I guess that's a good enough segue.
Yeah, please.
So the next
Jeremy,
project
thanks.
that's coming out is I got permission from the boss. I could talk about this. So we're releasing a introductory adventure that'll be pretty much given away the same way that this is being given away on DM's Guild to introduce players into Greyhawk, set in the Cairn Hills on the old
Nice.
Cairn Road in between
Crime.
yeah.
Between Greyhawk's
Cairn
domain
Hills,
and yeah.
between Greyhawk and the Duchy of Ernst. So basically, it's an introductory adventure targeted towards these new players and giving them something to play to kind of give them a taste of a little bit of the old school kind of flavoring to it, but with the new trappings to it. And so that's in production. The manuscript's finished, and so it's gone on to the next stages of production on that.
Awesome. Just as long as it's not the Doom Grinder running things over out there, I'm happy.
Oh,
Trying to get away from puppets.
I got to run puppets one more time, Lee. I'm running it in
Oh,
Page.
Falcons.
Puppets and then some. Yes.
All right. But that's my chance to actually get to play it because I know at GaryCon I didn't get out of bed that morning until 11:30 with a fever. So.
Oh, that's right. You were going to say, and Kurt's friend hopped in your place that day.
Yes, which is amazing because the last thing you want is like for a seat to be empty because it's like I've got the flu. So yeah,
I appreciated that, because you were probably still probably a little actively spreading at that point. So.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
I completely had forgotten you had signed up for that.
The title that right now is The Forgotten Tomb of Asarak.
Perfect.
So there you go. That's
Perfect.
the current
Links
working
in.
title.
Very cool.
That Doom Grinder really should have been a Dragonauts product with Tinker Nose, making a big.
I'm sorry I brought it
like
up.
a mobile.
I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, when you said Cairn Hill, so okay, I was like, oh my gosh. I was gonna say that with the two-handed sword, I was gonna say, is that a Flynn bar? But it looks like it's a flail. I was gonna be like, man, they even put a Flynn bar in here. So yeah, that was like, that's cool. Still a cool piece of artwork.
No, that is a Flynn. So that is a Flynn bar.
It is a Flynn bar. Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
The one thing that did keep us going through the month of writing stuff and then throwing it in the bin and writing it again was Troy saying, hey, have a look at this latest bit of art that's coming. And like we've seen all those things before they got in the layout and everything. And that one was amazing.
This piece right here is unbelievable. You can run, but you can't hide. That's perfect. I love that one. That's gotta have a little dark humor, which is good. The original Pelmarsh heraldry, right, Anna?
Oh yeah,
Grinning
that's
Skull.
yeah.
No?
It
Okay.
was my version of the one that came out for the LG 2000 in 2000, the Living Greyhawk Gazetteer. That's the the Pomage heraldry. It was actually, I think, originally for written about from the ashes when the wars went to the schmuck, but I don't think it was actually in a product until 2000, and I made my version of it. So yeah.
Nice shout out here. See the Pomage and Die shout out for Joe Block. Nice of you guys to do that. And
yeah,
gals.
Joe's done some good stuff.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know we got like 40 minutes left, and I'm just scanning through, just like wow. All right, so when is Shar first mentioned? And even though this is good to put it in like this. Do we know on that? Is it really right from 1980, or is it from Sean Reynolds, Scarlet Brother, where it's Kingdom of Shar?
I want to say it's before
Okay.
Sean Reynolds.
Okay.
But I'd have to go see if I could find it on the
Yeah, no big deal. I mean, you guys have done your homework on it, so
yeah,
it makes sense. Though exactly what you said makes 100% sense. That's a tasty morsel one. That's. uh,
That's Curtis's character,
It-
Heronius, because the axe,
Yeah,
right?
I was going to say that's not a Heronius lightning bolt on there, is that? On that shield, that would be funny. Dragonborn, cool.
That Dragon Ball is fantastic. Like, that's so old school. You could scroll past that and not realize it's a Dragon Ball.
Right, you go, oh, it's a lizard man. You know, he's got
Yeah.
that's a shield hand symbol too.
Yeah, that's
That-
fully integrated into Greyhawk.
That is the leader of the
Shield.
knights in the Shield Lands for the
Okay.
holy.
That's the holy shielding.
Yeah,
There's actually images
that's listed in the DMG.
of
Sorry,
all
go ahead.
the new rulers that were listed in the DMG sprinkled
Yeah.
through there.
And I guess if you do want to put Dragonborn into your Greyhawk game, you couldn't go worse than putting them there.
So Troy, was I cutting edge? We're doing that at the fundraiser 3 years ago, and you busted my balls on that for a year.
Yeah, but you deny it. So I mean,
I said that Bill painted the miniature.
you
What was I gonna do?
used the ultimate excuse. It was for the children,
It was for the children,
and nobody can argue that.
By the way,
right?
we're gonna as soon as week or two, we're gonna start planning next year's the seventh year. Yeah, we'll start planning that in a couple weeks for February. All right, so let me get through this. Stone Fist 10. 10's not destroyed by a drunken madman. No, that this is 576. So very cool. Another really nice piece.
That's Dan Smith. There.
Yeah, that's really nice. Really nice. Ulic Principality, Ulic all. All right, let's go to the next section here. Let's see what else we got. All right, so geography. Anything stand out here that from any of you? Like, wow, we did this, and I was surprised about this, or see, this is me. I don't even know where Dapplewood is in the game. Should I know that?
Dapplewood. It's oh yeah, of course you should. It's on your right on the
I was going to say
your
it's the
side on the
eastern
map.
half. Yeah,
It's
the
on
wrong
your
side.
half of the map, so you should.
I guess is it up near Friundi? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, it's
All right,
not far
up-
from Friundi. I
Okay.
think it's technically in Veluna. I think.
All right, okay.
Oh, it's on the west side. You
It's
should know about
actually
that then.
the northern part is in Friundi and the southern part is in Veluna. There's a
Exactly.
northern and the southern Dapplewood. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this style really is going right as it is, but it's a lot more intricate and a lot more nicely laid out than the 1980 original.
And it has references to later stuff, which is good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Lee makes his stuff look so easy. I've seen him making this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't realize how hard it is to get that stuff to fit on exactly one page.
I can imagine.
Oh,
I can imagine actually. All right.
Yeah, but I really enjoy the places where I can put a whole picture on a page and be like, I am
Oh, easy.
page.
Yep.
Oh,
You're done.
like,
Yep.
yeah, it brings me joy.
Is this a specific location?
That one I don't think so. No, is it?
No, I think at that point it was
It's
oh my
cool
gosh,
art
we
was
want to make
going in.
sure that there's great art in every section.
That-
and
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that was basically as Joey was going through and he was doing some of this stuff. He had some pieces that he had done
Right.
that didn't have homes, and we were like
This
he
works.
offered this, and we're like, well, hell yeah, we'll take that.
Yeah. Well, it's-
And there is an interesting piece of heraldry on that sketch that I haven't seen. So now I'm
what,
going to
right
use
here,
that.
this?
Yeah, the bottom left there is some
Oh,
heraldry.
this
that,
skull right here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
That-
skull
I'm
with
going
one
to-
eye
I'm going to-
missing.
Yeah, I'm
And-
going to make a version of that. I already. Yep, it's on my to-do list now. Yep.
Isn't that the same? It's not the same number of as Kellenen on the spikes coming out of it.
Nah,
No,
because
it's
it's
more
not
than that.
even. It's not even. It's kind
Three,
of
four, five, six.
odd,
Okay, it's a little more. Yeah.
weird.
Alright, cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Yeah, make it up, Anna. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All righty. Karen Hills, Dragon Scrap Hills. Any mention? I know you talk about apocryphal. Was completely just tried staying away from all that. Like any mention on Low Road for the Lort Mills that or is that like we shouldn't even go there on these? On something. Just curious. Anything you can think of that was like we should add this.
No, we strictly
Okay.
kept to the Folio 83 box set.
Okay.
We did dip our toes into the City of Greyhawk box set and that Gazetteer, right?
Okay.
I
Nice,
think there
Patrick.
might have been a small handful of stuff that we went to LGG for that there was a gap or missing, and then we reverse engineered it back.
Okay.
But 95% was from those first references that I mentioned. Trying to stay true to the 576.
Okay. Yeah, and that's I still my when I do a reference, I go to the original glossography. I don't go to the 83. I go to the 80, just because that's what I started with. And it's just like this is in so much the homage to it. It's just for a new person, and they'll get the same, brand new to the Greyhawk. They're gonna get the same feel.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is my go-to. And that's, you guys nailed it on that. Wetlands. I'm scrolling through. There's a name here and there I don't remember. I don't know, but most of them are familiar. I know there's probably some changes, right? Glorioles. Did you keep Glorioles in here, or just switch that, or is that one a different name? I know that it was a
It switched names, but just like everything else, you have the
cross-reference.
original or the new name and then the original name. If you scroll back up,
Yep.
Did you take a look at that art?
Yeah, it's a lovely bit of art.
Wait a minute. Sorry. This one right here.
The one on
Dan
top of
Smith.
the
one?
chapter.
No,
No, below that.
Right below it. This one.
Okay. So
Dan Smith.
you got a one-eyed. Is that Vecna? Yep.
Yeah, of course.
Uh-huh.
It's back
Hand missing, eye missing.
Yep.
Looking
Yeah.
in.
Look,
what's he
yeah,
looking at?
He's looking at. I'm gonna say that is Circle of Eight members.
Correct.
There's the Citadel of Eight when they first got the hand and eye. So, yeah, awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That
That is really good. Nice. So that means, well, let's talk about that in deities, because we know that they left out a bunch, right, in the Dungeon Master's Guide that have just disappeared over time, like Tritharian. They all in from 88, some 80, 83, and Living Greyhawk Gazetteer.
Not Living Greyhawk. Well, there are that we put in the hero deity, so yes, but
Cool.
Mainly the 83 box set, and then what was existing from the 2014 DMG and the 2024 DMG.
Okay.
And then we took a little bit of creative license in the domains for some of the people because there was nothing listed to convert it to current 5th edition. So
Okay.
yeah, no debate, no domains back in the day.
Right.
so that way people who want to make a modern day cleric, there you go.
Yeah, and it's not set by Backlunish and Sewell. It's just alphabetical by greater lesser, which makes much more sense.
Yep. And then hero and demi at the bottom.
Got me on
Demigod.
this. Sotillion, the Summer Queen. Will?
don't know that one.
Okay.
That's not
It
me.
sounds Iridian.
Oh yeah, it's these Iridian.
I know Telcher's
deities-
Iridian
deities
as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
okay.
these the four seasons.
Thanks.
Just like
Ah.
the Flan had their
Okay.
four Peeler and Nerul
Thanks, Rick.
and so on.
Yeah,
So Iridian had their yearly
Okay.
the four winds, the spring and the fall and all that. So yeah,
Makes sense. Saying, yeah, he's right.
that's the only thing that I
Thank
kind
you.
of wish were here. An idea of where these gods fit in the cosmology, meaning are they common gods? Are they Sewell, Flan? What are their origins?
Sounds
That
like
is,
another publication.
yeah, because and there's some that can fit multiple faith, so to speak. But to me, that's kind of builds the culture, adds to the culture, than the gods just being detached. I want them integrated into the scheme of things. But that's just me overthinking things too.
Nice on those.
But it's great that they're here, so
That's
many of
another
them.
cool
Yeah.
picture too.
Who
Oh,
is
I
that,
love
Jay?
that one.
Who is
Yes.
that? My
He's got a dwarf right next to him.
Yeah, come on, we know who that is. He's sitting on the throne of.
it's an Ius. Is it Ius?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's Ius with
And
Omni
that's
sitting on his
Omni.
bone throne.
Omni. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who's the dude
and now
behind?
we need to name the dude behind him.
Yeah, that's where I got
Mhm.
thrown off. Yeah.
Just
So,
just some
Oh, yes.
muscle.
muscle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but we need now that is someone.
Nice.
So yeah.
Thank you for the hype train, everyone.
One of
Oh,
those,
Fuzz, thanks, man.
Those trolls.
appreciate
What's it? The elite guard trolls. What are
Well,
Yeah.
I can. He can. Now I'm starting to think that maybe we can have like a cross, an abyssal troll giant crossover or something cool.
There are in Eyes of the Evil. There are some mentions of they have the actual tribes of the orcs, and I could have sworn that they called elite trolls something in there too. Will, if I
That's
recall.
exactly
Oh,
what
yeah.
this is. So
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
tell this
yeah.
is the story. Okay, so basically, when I was doing the art, right,
Yep.
I get together and I put together little brief descriptions of things that I wanted. One was, and this description would be, I use sitting on his throne, right? That's all pretty much what the description is that I'm giving Joey. Joey comes back to me with, can I put Omni next to him? And then he's talking about this elite troll guard stuff. I told you he's old school, man. He knew all about this stuff. He's
Right.
like, can I put this guy in the back? I'm like, hell yeah, put all that stuff in there. That's what I want to see. So Omni and the troll, that was Joey's
Yep.
interpretation.
That's awesome.
I
And-
don't want to be that guy, but you know what's even better about this picture? There's no Egwolf here. I'm standing there, she hotter and hotter and hotter every time she's published. You know what I mean? I love it that it's like
well, they
it
need
stands
to
on its
join
own.
the grognards, the
Right.
old male grognards by product.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I had to think
I'm
about it
just
for a
being
second. Yeah.
facetious, but yeah.
I know. So am
the
I.
reason I love
Oscar,
that
thank you.
is because most people, when they do a picture of Ayus, right, even if it's an old guy, right, he looks menacing and like not way more menacing than creepy, right? That is a creepy,
That is
old
creepy.
dude.
Yeah.
That is the kind of guy, like, sort of like what was the poltergeist with the reverend coming to the door?
Oh, Poltergeist
That-
2.
Poltergeist who? That to me
Oh, that
is
guy would-
Ayus, right? That dude.
That guy was dying of cancer too. What a great actor. Jeez. And it does say a lot in the old one that he appears as an old man unless he's angered, right? So that's good. No, it's fantastic.
It is interesting because he isn't really that old.
well
in from in the
400
no,
years.
no, he's not.
No, I thought he was
No.
at 400.
So
No, I don't
there,
think so. Hang on a second.
There is
let
the
me-
the picture that the actual situation, and then
Yep.
Vecna was looking in on it. So yeah,
And
that's-
it looks like they can kind of feel he's there.
A couple of them. do
He's
that, like-
born in 457, according to the
Really?
sources that I've got in. So yeah, so he's not that old.
he's called the old one. That's just weird.
Exactly. That's why that was propaganda stunt. He invented it in order to appeal to both the Flan and to regular, meaning he wanted to be like, I've always been there and I always will be there and stuff. So it's I use him propaganda. You're falling for it, Jay.
I fall for everything, except for the
No,
right
you
side of the
don't.
map. Right? No, I'm just kidding. So,
No,
So
but
if you haven't,
in my
there's a
in my
link.
campaign 590
it's out now, Greg.
99.
I just gave you the link in DM's Guild.
Yeah.
And you can pay for it what you wish. I would,
Yep.
though. Please, all they've really worked hard on it. I would pay something.
Yeah.
Well, this is the important thing, and I
Yeah.
got to say this. I was gonna like shame people, but I fortunately didn't have to do this
You could
because
publish.
to get it
Hardback.
to be able to
Right.
get print on demand, you have to hit 500, right? So as of I forget what day it was, because it hit silver within its first 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but that was with just the people paying to download. If everybody who actually went in and instead of giving the 50 cents that was suggested, instead of zeroing that out, if they'd have just gave the 50 cents, it would have hit Electrum in its first 24 hours
Right.
and been well on the way to getting to that 500 already. So if you want it to get its proper judging on the metal thing, you got to give at least 21 cents.
Thanks, Jay.
So if you want to be cheaper than 50 cents, make sure it's at least 21.
And just to give you guys some updated numbers, I checked.
Yeah, please.
There's been 619 total downloads so far and 185 sales where someone gave, money to her.
Something, yeah.
Nice.
I asked,
So there you go. That's a great example of if everybody who would have gotten this damn thing had just dropped 50 cents, and we wouldn't even have had to rely on the good natures of the DMs Guild to get it into print. It would have already hit gold status
so
already.
what will the print on demand price be?
0 from us, so it'll be whatever the cost is. I already got the email from DM's Guild. He said, hey, you should probably put in the description, print on demand coming soon. So I already did that, and it's uploaded. And that it'll switch from pay what you want to a price of 0 for us, from my side, right?
But
So it's basically, it's only going to cost you whatever the cost is to print. Like I said,
if I were to make a guess, it'll be at probably at the most around $5.
Yeah. And you're probably going to get the shipping costs added on afterwards.
Yeah. So it's not going to be expensive.
well, I will
84 pages is not going to be that much.
I will do this. I will pay for 10 copies myself and get them shipped to me, and then we'll give them away. Okay, on stream, but I'll pay for them. All right. We've gotten a ton of shout outs and cheers. I'll pass that along as soon as it's available. I'll buy a bunch, get them here. Will gives me his all the time, and then we'll give them away on streams. Okay. All right. So you got some organizations here. Let me go back. I'm trying not to get up again, so I'm trying to just not move. So yeah. Until we're off stream at least. All right. So got the Circle of 8. Very cool. You got Night Protectors of the Great Kingdom. There's good storylines there. And we got some other great realistic looking heraldry from Anna in here. You got the Knights of Luna. I can't even say that word. Makalad Consortium from Ket, right? Zeef. Sorry about that.
Mullaquad.
Thank you. Oh, nice. Rangers of the Gnarly Forest. Got Swammaze mentioned in here as well. Oh. All right. So you got the Rangers here. You got Silent Ones and the Seekers. Yep. Very cool. Thieves Guild of Greyhawk. Nice. Uh-oh. All right, Mac.
He drug it out as long as he could. Big Mac. Now it's you.
Okay.
That's a beautiful picture there from a very good artist.
Somehow I lost my ability to. There we go. Okay. All right. Why don't you tell us about the section, please?
Okay, so this is interesting because Spelljammer did not exist in 1980 when the original folio was made, and it didn't exist when the box set was made in 1983. It came in later. So I've already been doing loads of research on Greyhawk and Dragonauts and Forgotten Realms because I've been trying to work out all the stuff from 1E for all three of those settings, which is what I call Proto Spelljammer. So what I was trying to do here was a slightly different approach from what Paul was doing with the rest of the book, which is I've got a bunch of people, they're 2024 DMG customers, they're 5e players, they're using a 1e Greyhawk, but Spelljammer is now kind of different from how it was. Luckily, there's no official grey space in Wizards of the Coast. So I had a not yet. I think there will be in the future.
Okay.
The DMG contains Spelljammer content, but it doesn't give you grey space. So we're giving you grey space. We're giving you the grey space from SJR6 and the AD&D Adventures and box set, but we're also adding in some of the proto grey space stuff from the original Gazetteer. Like in the original Gazetteer, you're given the constellations, the 12 layers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I took the Wolf Nomad names and I've used them for the constellations. The constellations in there, if you look at the calendar, you've got your constellations in groups of 3. There's 4 groups of 3. There's a gap between each group of 3, which is when your festival is. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm giving people this, which means you can do your navigation for your sailors and stuff, or if you're going to have people flying around, you have your navigation. Now, under the new way of doing things, grey space is now what's called a wild space system. It was originally a crystal sphere. It's now a wild space system. It's surrounded by the astral sea, and it's kind of part of the astral sea as well. Now, the beauty of this is you don't have to worry about that stuff. You can just use the 2E stuff and just use anywhere where it's crystal sphere stuff. You just use it as a wild space system. So it was a slightly different translation thing. And you see where before we had the 5E names and then we had the 1E names. What we've got is here we've got Spelljammer names of the moons, and then in brackets the Greyhawk names.
Right. Okay. Got it.
So hopefully this same process will mean that this 5e person who, it's not their fault that Spelljammer changed a bunch of stuff. This 5e person can use a 5e Spelljammer with 2e Spelljammer and 1e Greyhawk and have no problems.
Very cool. And you got all the references here?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, there's a few obscure things like there's those rings that are in the Castle of Greyhawk that control giants that were brought in by Spelljammer ship. Okay. I didn't get down to that far into the weeds because I didn't think that was useful for newbies. But Treasures of Greyhawk, that is something.
Nest, yeah.
Yeah, if you're 5e and you like Spelljammer and you want to do a Spelljammer adventure with Greyhawk, you're going to want to do that. You're going to want to buy that off DM's Guild and run that.
Or, I give away 100 of them, so I have it here for as a giveaway. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Patrick prints out a ton of them. So Treasures of Greyhawk is one of the most underrated publications that a lot of people don't even know about. Well, so
let's see if we can get some 2024 brand new Greyhawk fans in the chat, and you can throw them at them.
Yeah, absolutely. So you got some fan sources there too, which is cool.
Yeah.
So this is stuff, Mac, that I know nothing about. Let's be honest. I know nothing about. It looks really cool. The grinder. I just don't. It's out of my complete wheelhouse.
Grinder's amazing. That's not a Gyjax thing. That's a Jeff Grubb thing.
Okay.
And the grinder's like an asteroid belt, but instead of being an asteroid belt, it's a sphere. Yeah. Okay. And as you know, in the real world, asteroid belts. Asteroids aren't very close together, but like in Spelljammer, it's more like The Empire Strikes Back, where Han Solo's flying through those asteroids. Together. So you've got a whole sphere of that around O-Earth and O-Earth's moons and the sun, and the rest of the planets are on the outside. So you can do. That's something unique to Grey Space. You could do loads of adventuring in there. You can have pirates in there. You can do all sorts of things.
Well, fantastic that you added it.
Yeah, I actually broke off from working on my Wild Space fanzine. That art you've got there, that sidebar art for the map of Grey Space, that's actually done by one of my Wild Space artists, Rakin.
Nice.
He heard we were doing this and he said, "Yeah, I'd love to help." And he gave us that map to use in here. And I'm hoping that the really cool spaceship at the start of the chapter, which Lee's run away, but I'm hoping that will be in our next year. We're doing a Grey Space issue for Wild Space magazine, so I'm hoping that ship will be in there. I've also got next year we've got Roger E. Moore actually joined our team.
Oh, great.
And he wrote us something, and then he was like, "Oh, can I write something else? Can I write something else?" Now we're going, I think we got too much Grey Space content for one issue.
It's better than not any at all, right? So that's
Good
great.
problem to have.
Yeah,
It is. It's a very good problem to have. Yeah.
All right, so this is the lore changes. Anyone know what their thoughts are on what they decided to do? Like I saw where Nyron is taking over Neural and all sorts of ads, and maybe even Rotic. No, not Rotic. Bone March and all. They're just.
I don't think there was any official.
Nothing. Okay.
Nothing official's come out about it.
Okay.
They just kind of put it out and said, "There it is."
So, yeah, the guy that did the map said he didn't know about the name changes.
Yeah, Mike Schley.
Yeah.
Mike's supposed to come back on in the near future. Maybe he'll be able to give some more stuff out. Especially, I'm not sure. Does anyone know? Is he selling now? Is he able to sell his stuff now that this is out, or does he have to wait a certain amount of time?
I'm not sure if it's set up yet, but I think it's coming.
Speaking of that, we're not going to show this tonight. We're going to do this on Sunday. But this is the Beetle and Grimm.
Oh, cool.
Okay, I got the entire thing. It just came today, as a matter of fact. Yeah, that's it.
Try flexing.
That's it. I'll show that off Sunday night. So and we'll go through it a little bit, because I'm hoping there's maps in there like inns and stuff that I can utilize. So besides having the nice Greyhawk maps, and I heard everyone likes the screen too. That's inside, so I haven't even opened it. All right, so we got these. We talked about this already on the conversions over. Please, so why don't we take questions from the audience, please? Why don't you shoot them out to everyone if you have. Confused why they got rid of all the humanoid invasions, Dale says. Do you mean with Spying Castle? Because or what are your thoughts on what you're talking about, Dale, on that?
I just don't think they highlighted them.
Yeah, I just think they just set a point.
They didn't really get rid of them. They just, because that wasn't really. I mean, do they talk about it at all in, say, like Radix? Not Radix, but Bone March's write up.
I mean, looking in the DMG, they really give 3 plots. Yeah. And they don't say that's the only stuff happening in the Flannies. So I would say that if you've bought the 2024 DMG and you want to have a humanoid invasion, go ahead and grab it from the old stuff, modify it however you want, and just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry. I just want to reiterate. I don't think that, like I said earlier, with dialing back to 576, it's not like they got rid of it. It's just, has it happened yet? Right. And if it's an omission of, say, like the humanoid invasion out of the Rakers into the Bone March, if they don't mention that in the Bone March, it still pretty much happened, even if it's not there. Right. So unless something else came out to actually actively contradict that, I would just say that it did. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I would definitely say you could take all of the 1E products as a 5E person, and if you like them, you can run them, and if you don't like them, you can skip them. It's your choice. It's not Wizard's choice.
All right. Let me see what else we got here. So Nagoya Joe said he left feedback. So there you go.
Yay!
Oh, thanks.
Yep.
Hope you like it.
He said, yeah, he said great product. Sam Weiss, they got rid of it. Bone March and Poe March falling to the humanoids are past events, not impending from the wars. Okay, got it. Yes, you're right, Nicoya. These pages that Jay's looking at are great connections for folks. Yeah, it is. I think this is. How do I say this? I've seen people in the last 5 years, no names mentioned, they grab every single resource they can find because they don't want to upset someone in canon, a published source or canon with their game, and then they sink in it, they drown. Here, at least everything is set, so you can go. Well, I want to know about this. Here's where I go. Here's where I go. Here's where I go. You know what I mean? Instead of you getting overwhelmed with just buying up everything you can, from first edition all the way up to third, and it's just too much. It's
Yeah, I get overwhelmed every week or so when I'm getting researching
right.
into something,
Yeah.
and I have more time than I devote more time than most people, and
Yeah.
I've collected sources forever, and it's damn thorny at times to
Terrifying.
figure out
Here, I'll go
which way
right back to the title. This is
Yeah.
on DM's Guild, and we'll put the link up again here. So this is World of Greyhawk Gazetteer revised. All right, and here I can do that for you real quick. Here, I know that Phantom 419 was putting it up, but there you go. Let me go back to 79 here, roughly.
Answers Asher's question. You weren't here. You got here late, but we got an email from DM's Guild granting us the ability to go to print on demand and start that process now before waiving the requirement for us to hit the 500 sales because of the quality of the product. FYI.
So that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Which means someone there's doing their job.
Yeah.
Somebody looked at it, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I mean I've been checking out the social media because I do the social media for the Piazza. I have not seen DM's Guild tweet out any other Greyhawk products since this came out. I was blown away.
Joe Blockscott tweeted.
Oh right, sorry.
I got tweeted too.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
They did. It's okay. It's okay.
All right, 1 of 3. It's still good.
There you
Twitter's,
go.
it's Twitter. So
Here's a funny for everybody since my team laughed at me. I took off work yesterday and I'm sitting there, right, and I'm monitoring the sales. I'm like, okay, well, we hit copper. They didn't put the copper badge on the image. And then we go past silver and I'm like, well, when are they gonna update that? So I sent a message to DM Sam and he's like, oh yeah, well usually once or twice a day, right? Like they'll update that stuff. Well, here you have to physically Photoshop and put the badge on your thumbnail.
They don't do it.
I didn't know that, right?
Wow.
Like I'm sitting there and I'm just like, man, when is this gonna? When's that happen, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know, and they all laughed
did
at me.
The best bit of it is we were looking at the page and to the right of the product.
That's what I thought you were talking about.
It's got the silver badge over there, right? So Sam's going, Troy, it's there, and he's going, it's not there. And Sam's going, no, it's there. I can see it, Troy. It's actually there. And I went, well, hang on. Let me have a look in case your browser needs the cache refresh. I'll have a look myself. And I'm going, yeah, I can see it as well. And Troy's like, no, I definitely can't see it.
I'm sorry. If I'd have known, I would have told you.
Sure, you guys did. You guys laughed all very hard at me. That's okay.
Yeah,
I can take it.
My favorite thing was Lee made some alternative options, only seen within the team, of where that silver badge could go.
Yeah, that's a tough choice.
There's a little picture of it above the guy's helmet.
It was hard. Yeah, it was extremely hard not to change his crest to the silver badge. But I wanted to toss out a really quick shout out to Gabriel or Gabriel. So thank you very much. I was able to make a change to that Stone Fit versus Stone Fists. Like I said in chat, I was probably going through fits by that point. So yeah, that'll be up. Actually, I'll send that over to Troy shortly. So
So there was another update.
yeah, there will be.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
there's always going to be little minor things. I love this too. A really cool picture.
Will,
Wanty.
That this is another one of the ones where Joey came back to us and go, I've got this really great picture of a Wanty that doesn't have a home.
Yeah.
Can I put this in? And we're like,
That-
hell yeah, you can put that in.
Yeah.
that's a Marilith.
Oh, it's a
Yes,
type.
that is
It's a
Maryland.
type 5.
Yeah, check. Yeah, count the arms.
Yeah, 3.
So-
We can't. Yeah, behind there's probably 1 or 2. 1, 2. So yeah, 6 arms. It's it's type 5. It's Marilith. Yeah, but yeah, someone hasn't had a really happy day there. So yeah, nice. All right, so they did a really wonderful job on resource sites too for you to go beyond. So Anna's up there. Anna's site. We'll go through these real quick. Cannon Fire, Piazza, Greyhawk Musings, David Leonard's, Greyhawk Online, Mike's Malden. There you're on there, which is awesome. Kuroth's Quill, Alan Growy, another great one. The Domain of Greyhawk. I'm not sure if I know that one.
That's Paul Artharn's.
Oh, that's Arthur's
Blog.
site. Okay, thank you. Grey League, Greyhawk Ragnar, Joe Blocks, Facebook Greyhawk Adventures Group. That's Will's. Greycast Podcast. Nice. Legends and Lore Show for us. Greyhawk Project. Will. Right?
Yep.
Dungeon Masters Guild itself. And then the classic guide to Greyhawk, what do they call it? The bald, hairy / hairy from Stuart and Paul, correct?
Yep.
So not a lot of great resources there. And all in one place so that another thing to help out everyone find what they're seeking. So it is, Carman. That's great to say.
If I
Pretty
could say
staggering.
something quick
Please,
about
of
those,
course.
the 2 things at the Piazza.
Yep.
You was talking earlier about those great 3rd edition things that you didn't know about.
Yeah, didn't know about.
So the second thing I've got on there in the links Troy was kind enough to put up for the Piazza is a thing called the Bookhouse on the Piazza. Now I'm repairing this. I took over the Piazza a few years back, and the Bookhouse got kind of damaged. But one of the things we're doing, I'm going to pop a link in the chat. We've got a page for every D&D product is going to be up. It's a work in progress, but if you go look at any of those pages, you'll see we're going into the Wayback Machine. We're getting all the web enhancements. We're getting all the art galleries. We're getting all the map galleries. So, like, if you've bought anything from DM's Guild, and it used to have all this free stuff on the Wizards Coast website, now it's gone, we brought it back at the Piazza. So if you don't want to do the Piazza forums, please come do the Bookhouse, get that stuff. There's for Living Greyhawk Gazetteer, I found a load of stuff on Cannon Fire that I've linked to. There's a thing on Sean K. Reynolds' website, which is now no longer online, where basically Sean, after he did Living Greyhawk Gazetteer, he went on to work on Forgotten Realms Campaign Guide, and he was like, here's some information that should have been in Living Greyhawk Gazetteer, but we hadn't invented it yet. Here's the stuff about the domains, and I've linked to that there from that. So if I find more of this stuff over the next few years, I'm going to add all that in. Like literally anything I can find that's a fan enhancement or art galleries or reviews, anything, they'll be up there.
Okay. It's excellent to know.
Yeah, luckily that doesn't just help 5e fans, that helps everyone.
Yeah. You know, and let's face it, Grog's played in a ton of different editions. It by DM's rules, it's got to be in the 5e version, but it's so easy to convert. I mean, most of it's not technically 5e. A lot of it's just talking about locations, or deities or whatever. So you can use it to whatever edition you're playing in.
Yeah.
So, Troy, Patrick asked, you have a specific day the print on demand is going to be up?
We have no idea yet.
Okay.
We will start that process once. Unfortunately, or fortunately, whatever, to keep Lee's sanity, he worked very hard for this PDF only file, so it is completely different for print files.
Right, with the binder and all. Yeah,
like
right.
like this PDF has bookmarks throughout, links. I mean, it is the Lamborghini of PDFs. Like, that is a lot of work, an incredible amount of work, and I can't thank Lee enough. And like I said at the beginning of the show, outside people recognized it, and why I think we got that email to go to POD to start that process, and we only had less than 100 sales at that point whenever they contacted me. So it's just good. It felt really good to be recognized for the product that this team put out.
Absolutely. You should all be super proud of yourselves. I mean, I think the entire audience agrees, and mostly everyone who's on is probably downloaded or ordered it at this point, and it's fantastic. So I say kudos to all of you. You did. I mean, you worked really hard.
And to be clear, downloads and sales are different.
Yeah.
It's
Pay a buck,
got, like,
everyone.
right now it's got what, over 600 downloads.
Right.
So.
And if you guys all would have did 50 cents, no.
Yeah.
Right? See? That's what I'm saying.
So let's start wrapping up with we'll do some last second shout outs. Anything else you want to mention or anything else coming up? We'll tie in the shout what you want to shout out with that, and I'll see as thanks, Troy. Troy did 5. I mean Vamp Chad. By the way, Chad's playing for the first time on my game Saturday morning. He's been to the house a couple. He's playing with the nuclear meat, so you get to see him with his wig on Saturday. So, let's do some shout outs, and like I said, if I see any questions pop up, I'll ask them. So, Will, what's up, man? And what else would you discuss?
Well, now that I finished up the manuscript for the Forgotten Tomb of Asarak, I can go ahead and I'm gonna concentrate on getting my stuff ready for Genghis Khan and then Gary Khan. And then after I put those puppies to sleep, it's time to finish the Lost Temple of the Soul.
When's Genghis Khan and where?
Genghis Khan's in February, and that is here in Denver.
Nice.
So basically, and what I'll be running is Dragon's Horde, one of my adventures, and I'm going to be running again Marvel Superheroes. And that's going to be the Hypno Bomb, which is it's one of my adventures too. So,
awesome.
But so I'll be running both of those, and those are the ones that I'll be running at Gary Con. So Genghis Khan gets to be the trial run, the test runs, so I can iron out all everything before I go to Gary Con with it. So, and
cool.
then I'll go ahead and I'll finish up the manuscript for Lost City of the Zool, which is really close to being done. It's pretty much just a matter of stat blocks at this point. So, and then it's just, taking it from there and prepping it for going to Kickstarter. So, and then of course there's always everything going on with the Patreon and finishing out the I'm really wanting to get these archetypes finished so that I can. There's a lot of other stuff that I want to do, a lot of other supplements and different things that I want to do Greyhawk wise. So
you're like a machine. I get like 2-3 emails a day from your Patreon. Damn, it's like, wow. Yeah.
More like 2 or 3 a week, but okay.
Well, they keep batching up, and I'm like, oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I get behind here. Yeah. But it's awesome.
Well, I'll be talking with you, but Bill and Master Crafter wants me to work on the Timothy Brannan first edition Warlock for our game. So yeah. So we may be adding a new test class coming up. So yep. Well, I really appreciate you coming on, man, and
Yeah,
thank you
it's
for
always
all
a
your
blast.
contributions to this. Really,
Thanks
Mhm.
for having us.
of course, David Mack.
Right, yeah. Okay, so I'm over on the piazza. If you like D&D settings other than Greyhawk, or if you want to do a crossover campaign, come and see us over there. We've got a Grey Space forum now. Inside the Greyhawk forum, we've got a Sundered Empire forum. So if you like Chainmail from the 3rd edition weird thing that started getting made and then got cancelled, but is awesome. Come over there and have a chat about that. If you want to mix up Greyhawk and Planescape or Greyhawk and Spelljammer, there's people to talk to there. I'm also working on Wild Space. My layout guy's been a bit busy, but he should be. That's Lee. He should be working on issue 3 now. Issue 3 is ready to go for layout, which is WSM3, the Groundling's Guide to Spelljammer, which is not quite the same thing as this, but it's, if you've never done Spelljammer before, it's a bunch of articles to help you get going. And then the next issue after that, which we're just starting to work on the editing stage, is WSM4 Grey Space, the Greyhawk Crystal Sphere, which, like I said, Roger E. Moore's throwing articles at us, which is like really good problem to have, and other
It
people
is.
throwing articles at us. We've got 2 adventures that we're trying to work on. Like some issues, we've just had 1 adventure, so we're really looking at it thinking we might need to cut this in half. After that, there's another issue. It came from Beyond the Moons, which is a bunch of weird stuff that you can put anywhere in Spelljammer. And we are going to make the next thing Crin Space. So if there's any Dragonlance fans in the chat and you like Dragonlance and Spelljammer, please come and chat to me. I'd love to have your stuff, your ideas. That's pretty much all that's going on with me at the moment.
Oh, well, thank you. Really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you very much. It's been great.
Lee, what's going on? Too much, right?
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to shout out?
Yeah. So first off, I'll go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and shout out to I'm working on the layout for Rick Miller's Veil of the Mage, and that's a pre-Christmas release in here. And beyond that, I'm the Savage Baron on Discord. And I normally have a tendency to hang out over on the piazza. Once in a while, I'll wander through some of the Greyhawk Discords. But beyond that, you can normally find me over on the Gary Con side of the house. And I look forward to hopefully seeing anybody there. Come up, shake hands. We can definitely talk some layout and design and fonts. Wait, no, that's not exciting to anybody but me. So,
Me,
okay,
it's
all
exciting
right.
for me. Yep. Mhm.
So yeah, but that is basically what I have. So
Yep.
Well, appreciate you being here. Thank you so very much.
thank you much, Jay.
Anna, you want to forego us and do us all on Sunday unless there's something between now and then? You have anything?
No, you would do it Sunday. That's
Okay.
good.
All
Yep.
right, sounds good because I think we're going to have an open forum
Yep.
discussion on Sunday. Troy.
Yep.
Yes, Will already announced the next thing you should expect to see, hopefully here next month, will be the Forgotten Tomb of Sararak. He gave that spiel. Other than that, I need to hold another production meeting with my team, and depends on how this product is received, and some emails and stuff that I've received as well. Take that into consideration. It might change up my production schedule, so that's kind of fluid right now. I do know that this product will be covered by some other people coming up soon on YouTube. We sent out what was it, Big Mac? Like 10, 11 different YouTubers
Yeah. Yeah.
in the D&D space, and some of them have replied back that they're going to look at it. A couple of them reply back, yeah, we'll cover it. So expect an even bigger, wider net cast to get more eyes on this product, which that is the full purpose of it. So
Yeah. That really would be great if that happens.
yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for sharing and coming on. I think you have an absolute hit on your hands, and the hard work is really showing. And I know the community is very appreciative. Absolutely. It's only a good sign for everyone. I think we're all excited about the direction that things are going. And we just got to get through. We all got to get through the bumps in the road, because they're going to be.
The real reward is going to be down the line when someone's on your show and they say that this thing is what brought them into Greyhawk.
Yeah, absolutely. So real quick, I want to share something just real fast, and I'll show it on Sunday. But I have this hasn't happened before. I actually have someone making art from the game. Like my last RPG on Saturday. This is Pip. Rachel made this. This is her character casting a bless on a crossbow bolt, and her husband's character is below, bracing her so she can shoot and kill the Rakshasa. And it actually happened in the
Awesome.
game. So it's like I'm actually, it's cool. I mean, it's exciting. That we got some really talented people. And they were at GaryCon last year, Marquee Gaming, and now they're coming more into the community. So we're just trying. All of us are trying to reach out, get more and more people in. So, just what's going on this week. This is Saturday morning. I'm going to probably stand the entire time down in the basement. But so I got Coco, Korg, Rob, Phantom NJ, and Van Wickman for it's called Malevolence in Nature Frog Guy Games giveaway. Zudrak's on. He doesn't even know that yet, but he'll know now after this. Saturday morning at 10. And then we'll have a Gavin Sunday night. I'll definitely open up the Beetle and Grim box, and maybe I'm going to bring some of the. I have Reaper Bones 6. I haven't even opened it, except for I gave Bill all his paints, so we'll do that too. And then the big thing is a week from Thursday, and I'm hoping I'm healing better every day, just so you all know. It's getting better every day, but it's a challenge now, as you can, with no prostate. The muscles got to rework. So, that's just some of the issues going on. But next Thursday is my 3-year partner anniversary. Thursday, December 5th. We're going to have a ton of great giveaways from Frog God Games and Choler Games. Chuck's playing, Ed's playing in the game, Darling, Coco, and a couple of my guys.
3
playing.
years already?
3-year Twitch partner, yeah.
Jeez,
I know it's insane. It's saying, well, and that'll be and the name of the adventure is Cleansing. And if you've been on Gamescape 3D, that huge fortress / religious institution building, that's what we're using. So it's going to be awesome. And Bill's adorned it all with standing glass and all sorts of real great things. It's 4 levels. We're going to use that. And we're going to be in Altimer. It's going to be fun. So Ed's going to be playing along with the rest, and that's far enough out for now. So let's do the giveaway. Winner gets their choice of 2 tonight. Sound good? And if any of you want me to radio specifically to anyone that's on, within reason, of course, yeah.
All dragons making Lego. If you haven't got anyone better than that.
I was going to do Folk and Myth because Miko's on and came on early on the stream, but yes, doing a D&D stream always priority over. But let me do the giveaway here. And Tarry's coming back. Well, that's good to hear. So any last thoughts for everyone? Thanks. This was great. I really appreciate you all coming. It was a wonderful, wonderful discussion, and hopefully get the word out to everyone in the audience. Just get the word out. Hey, this is a great download. Throw $1 or 2 in there so they can get the print on demand. I will order a whole bunch, and I know Patrick will send me some too. So I'll have a whole bunch to give away on streams as well. So I'm closing this out. All right, here we go. Winner tonight. Celtic Boar. You got your choice of 2. Celtic Boar, as long as you're on. Thank you. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you all. We'll see you all Saturday morning. Goblin, thank you. That was really kind of you to say. So, and thank you for all the kind words I've gotten and messages. I'm doing my best. It's a day by day thing. Thanks.
I guess my final thought is I got to speak to Will a lot recently, and he's a really awesome guy. So it's been a real pleasure.
Oh, well, that came out of left field. Hi, David.
Love
Well,
Fest.
I've met all the other guys before, but like haven't really met Will much. But he's really awesome.
Oh, thank you. You are too.
Thanks.
So,
If you're in the U.S., enjoy your Thanksgiving holiday with family and friends tomorrow. I'll definitely see you Saturday morning, 10 a.m. And keep the faith out there and keep the Greyhawk alive. And we appreciate the support. The whole community does. Thanks. See ya. All right.
Bye.
Happy
Fulkin.
Thanksgiving, all.
yeah, happy Thanksgiving.
Let's go into Folk and Myth here.
Happy Turkey Day.
Raid. I think Bleak is DMing, it looks like. I think this one. All right. Nice number. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy Thanksgiving. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Just make sure when.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
Yep. Probably
Yeah.
83 people. Yep.
Just send a raid message. Boom. Turn us off.